Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning, BPC, Bahamas Petroleum Company. In a new oil bid, the company wants licenses extended. Grand Bahama Airport will cost between $40 to $50 million to rebuild. And a man arrested after allegedly attempting to sexually assault an 11-year-old girl. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, March 25th, 2021. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner is going to join us from Grand Bahama. Also this morning, we are talking about FYI, our monthly series with Cable Bahamas Business for Your Innovation. We're going to be talking with them and Central Bank and Craven today. You don't want to miss that. Plus, in Morning Blend Business, we are talking BAIC, the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation. There's a lot going on there, especially the 40th anniversary celebrations. We're going to talk about their work with small and medium-sized businesses this morning. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, 6 weeks after announcing its first well, Perseverance number 1 had failed to yield commercial quantities of oil. BPC, Bahamas Petroleum Company, announcing that it's planned to secure an extension for its 4 southern licenses to drill another exploratory well in the Bahamas. This would be the third time BPC has applied to extend its licenses, this time for a 3-year drill or drop exploration period. That means that if the company does not drill within 3 years, the licenses would be forfeited. BPC's licenses expire in June, and the company must apply for an extension 3 months before the expiration. Contacted by Guardian Business yesterday, Attorney General Carl Bethel says the government is scheduled to have a meeting, at which time its position on whether it will approve that application may be clearer. With $13 million cash on hand as of March 1st, BBC says it intends to finance the second exploratory drill via an entirely new farm-out process, which would introduce a funding and operating partner for the next stage of exploration activity in the Bahamas. While the government is purchasing Grand Bahama International Airport for only $1, it will cost between $40 million and $50 million to rebuild it. That's according to Minister of Tourism and Aviation, Dionisio de Aguilar. He says the government will seek to enter into a public-private partnership to assist in the rebuilding of the airport. He was speaking yesterday in the House during the Airport Authority Amendment Bill debate. De Aguilar says private sector funding and management will be the way forward for the airport and that they have no other choice but to do it in this way. He says that before that can happen, the government will spend about $1.5 million on repairs to improve the facility in the short term. He says funds are earmarked to repair the air traffic control building and replace the elevator system in the building, create office space in the domestic terminal, and repairs to the current cargo building. Meanwhile, two MPs yesterday accusing the government of being hypocritical as it relates to the DNA, the Democratic National Alliance, and its protest earlier this month. Anglerston MP Glennis Hannah Martin noting that Prime Minister Dr. Jimenez participated in the We March protest back in January 2017 when he was in opposition. She says that permission was given to the We March group to go to Pompey Square, and then there was a break-off group, and they decided they were going to storm Rawson Square. On Monday, DNA leader Arinthi Komolafe and several other members of the party were arrested and questioned for allegedly attempting to breach Parliament and for unlawful assembly in relation to a protest they staged outside Parliament on March 3rd. The members of the DNA were held at Central Police Station for 5 hours before being released. Both the Attorney General Carl Bethel and National Security Minister Marvin Dames have insisted the arrests were not politically motivated. Pine Ridge MP Frederick McAlpine also calling on the Prime Minister and calling him hypocritical, particularly as the FNM, he says, continues to campaign in the midst of a pandemic. And a 29-year-old man is in police custody after he allegedly tried to sexually assault an 11-year-old girl on her way to school in the Palmdale area. This happened yesterday morning. Police say the girl was unharmed. Police are saying the man was seen walking behind the girl with his pants down. A concerned citizen sent a voice note warning residents to be on the lookout for the man. Police say that they have a man in custody. And continue to question him. Overseas, North Korea today test firing its first ballistic missiles since U.S. President Joe Biden took office as it expands its military capabilities and increases pressure on Washington while nuclear negotiations remain stalled. Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga saying that North Korea's resumption of ballistic testing threatens peace and safety in Japan and the region, and that Tokyo will closely coordinate with Washington and Seoul on the North's military activities. The South Korean foreign minister, after meeting his Russian counterpart in Seoul, expressed deep concern and urged the North to uphold its commitments for peace. The Russian foreign minister is also calling for a swift resumption of dialogue to resolve the standoff with North Korea. And AstraZeneca is insisting that its COVID-19 vaccine is strongly effective after counting additional illnesses in its disputed U.S. study, the latest in an extraordinary public rift with American officials. In a late-night news release Wednesday, the drug maker said it had recalculated data from that study and concluded that the vaccine is 76% effective in preventing symptomatic COVID-19 instead of the 79% it had reported earlier in the week. Just a day earlier, an independent panel that oversees the study had accused AstraZeneca of cherry-picking data to tout the protection offered by the vaccine. The panel, in a harsh letter to the company and to U.S. health leaders, said the company had left out some COVID-19 cases that occurred in the study, a move that could erode trust in the science. Some experts say the new data provided by AstraZeneca was reassuring and that the information was likely solid enough for U.S. regulators to authorize the vaccine. Data disputes during ongoing studies typically remain confidential, but in an unusual step, the National Institutes of Health publicly called on AstraZeneca to fix the discrepancy. AstraZeneca had been counting on findings from a predominantly U.S. study of 32,000 people to help rebuild confidence in a vaccine that, despite being widely used in Britain, Europe, and other countries, has had a troubled rollout. Previous studies have turned up inconsistent data about its effectiveness. And then last week, a scare about blood clots had some countries temporarily pausing inoculations. Most have since restarted after the European Medicines Agency said the vaccine doesn't increase the overall incidence of blood clots, but it could not rule out a connection to some rare blood clots and issued new advice for monitoring those who do get vaccinated. In sports, more young Bahamian athletes attaining status for summer meets this past weekend. The list of qualifying athletes is growing as we move closer and closer to regional competition. The number of international meets for junior athletes on the calendar this summer, and sandwiched in between them is the Olympic Games. The Crifta Games have been postponed twice, though now set for August 13th through 15th in Bermuda. Just a couple days later, the World Athletics Under-20 Championships will commence, set for August 17th through 22nd in Kenya. And the NACAC, the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletic Association Under-18 and Under-23 Championships is on the calendar for July 9th through 11th in Grenada. Read more in today's Guardian Sports section. And overseas from the NBA, Kyle Lowry was a few minutes into a post-game Zoom session where most questions were centered around today's NBA trade deadline. Then he asked for his microphone to be paused for a moment. Apparently, Drake was FaceTiming his phone. This is all yesterday, but today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, translation on which way the trade winds are blowing in the NBA will no longer be needed. By then, answers will be known. Lowry is perhaps the top potential prize on the trade market going into deadline day, which means Wednesday's win over Denver might have been his last in the Toronto Raptors uniform. Other big names are out there as well, but today happens to be Lowry's 35th birthday, though he's telling people he's turning 30 again. Other than getting presents from his kids, he doesn't know what will happen or even what he wants to see happen on the trade front. Deals must be agreed to by 3 p.m., and it may be several more hours after that deadline before things are finalized. The NBA holds what are known as trade calls with the teams involved to ensure that all the financial matters fit within league rules, and there's often a backlog of those on trade deadline days. Some talks have gone on for a few days, and some players have been on the trading block for a few weeks or more. And in what has become an annual tradition now, the rumor mill has been cranked up for some time. We will see, and we'll upload what happens come tomorrow. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your first look at weather for today, you've got high pressure that will continue to extend over the Bahamas, maintaining these sunny, breezy, and relatively stable conditions. Do have some warnings, though. Beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should exercise caution along eastern coastlines. as there is a risk of rip currents. For all areas today, forecast calls for partly sunny, hot, and breezy conditions with a chance of a light spotty shower, becoming mostly fair and warm with a stray shower possible. Small craft cautions in effect for boaters in the central and southeast Bahamas. Wind southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots in the northwestern islands, east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots in the central and southeastern Bahamas. Seas 2 to 4 feet in the northwestern islands, but 4 to 6 feet in the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperature-wise today, right now we are at 74 degrees in Nassau under fair skies. Look for highs getting up to a very warm, very hot 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have an extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. It's time for a break, but when we come back, we are discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Cash is what we have been using for generations, but it's no longer the only way to pay or receive money. That is great news for business owners. I'm Lasanya Mizik, Managing Director at RBC Royal Bank, encouraging you to find out how going cashless can benefit your business with faster transactions and settlements, better cash flow management, plus reduce risk of theft. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/go cashless. RBC Royal Bank. Banking reimagined.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
So, Gianna, how often have you been flossing? Well, you know that's not enough. And are you still working over at the daycare? Okay. How's Franklin? Haven't seen him at the club. I see. How are your boys doing? Okay. Sounds good. Now you just tell me if this hurts. Oh boy, that's a doozy. Did I ever tell you about the shark I found in my pool?
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like a dentist that doesn't try to talk to you with your mouth full.
Sounds good.
CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that. Atlantic Medical Insurance Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Coral Isle Pension Services Bahamas Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Pensions. And Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 or BTC Flow Channel 612. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Good morning, Laverne.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. Hope you're doing well.
I'm good.
Excellent stuff. Great to have you with us as always. And as always, we have a lot to talk about today, a lot going on. And,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot. And some breaking news as well. So we're going to get into all of that. You can join the conversation. Tweet us at morningblend969 or facebook.com/morningblend969. Email us morningblend@nasguard.com. Or you can text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-GR96, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Coming up this morning, more weather and traffic. In our 8 o'clock hour, our FYI series continues for your innovation, talking with Cable Bahamas Business and talking about how everybody is moving closer to this fully digital system and the sand dollar with the central bank and companies like Craven, how they are thriving during this time. We're going to get into all of that this morning. And then later in Morning Blend Business, we're talking with BAIC, the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation. They are celebrating a 40th anniversary this year. We're going to talk with them about how they are helping small and medium-sized businesses as well. So a lot to get to, but first, let's get into what's in the news. And in the news, as we said in the overnight, there's some more information, new information coming out from AstraZeneca about their U.S. trial as they've updated their data after being accused of using old data. We'll get into that in just a bit. But the big headline in the Nassau Guardian today, BPC, you remember them, Bahamas Petroleum Company? It's not over. It's not over with them. They are in a new oil bid. The company wants their licenses extended. Our Paige McCartney writing about this today. 6 weeks after announcing its first well, the Perseverance #1, that had failed to yield commercial quantities of oil, BPC announcing yesterday that its plans to secure an extension for its 4 southern licenses to drill another exploratory well in the Bahamas. This would be the third time BPC has applied to extend its licenses, this time for a 3-year drill or drop exploration period. Now, that means that if the company does not drill within 3 years, the licenses would be forfeited. BPC's licenses expire in June, and the company must apply for an extension 3 months before the expiration. So that means now. That means now. Contacted by Guardian Business yesterday, Attorney General Carl Bethel said the government is scheduled to have a meeting at which time its position on whether it will approve that application may be clearer. With $13 million cash on hand as of March 1st, BPC says it intends to finance the second exploratory drilling via an entirely new farm-out process, which would introduce a funding and operating partner for the next stage of exploration activity in the country. According to the company, it says, quote, since announcing the results of the Perseverance #1 well, the company has had a number of discussions with industry counterparties in relation to a potential farm-out of the licenses, and the company is now working to formalize and launch an entirely new farm-out process via Geneus, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, Energy. The farm-out will also seek to introduce a funding and operating partner for the next stage of exploration activity in the Bahamas. The company is in the final stages of integrating the well information with its historical database, data set, and expects to commence the farm-out process upon completing its work in the coming days. Now, BBC also says, quote, concurrent with the farm-out process, the company intends to exercise its right to renew the 4 southern licenses into a third exploration period at the end of the current second exploration period, at the end of June 2021. The third exploration period will last for 3 years and will require a further exploration well to be drilled before the period expires, failing which the licenses will be forfeited, i.e. drill or drop. The company is still in reconciliation with government on its license fees to determine what has been paid and what is still owed to the Bahamas government. You may recall, BBC holds 5 exploration licenses covering approximately 4 million acres. The 4 southern licenses are located in the waters where Perseverance #1 was drilled. And the company began drilling the Perseverance number 1 in December amid a cloud of controversy as environmental groups sought an injunction halting the project. The company was seeking to yield at least 0.77 billion barrels of oil. However, it announced in mid-February that although hydrocarbons were found, they were not in the quantities expected. And the company says that although that well did not result in commercial discovery, the company is encouraged by the presence of those hydrocarbons. All right. So there's a lot more on this in the paper today. You can pick up your copy and read more. But let's talk about that. The intention is there, and they have the right to apply, but should they be given the right? Should the licenses be extended? After all that we've been through and all the comments that people had, although it wasn't unanimous, but quite a few said this is not the way to go. What should happen now? We've heard from cabinet ministers, the prime minister himself, saying they are not in support of this. Now they have an opportunity to show that is true. What will they do?
Exactly. So, before you came to the public and said that there was nothing that you could do, you were not in support of this, but there is nothing that you can do. Here's an opportunity for you now to say, you know what, I was not supporting this project initially, and we're not going to renew your license. I don't even know why BPC is still around. So it seems based on the late breaking news that they farmed out, meaning they have a third party in who's going to be involved in this development. What are we doing here? Just let it go. That's my vote. Do not renew these licenses. Goodbye.
That's what they all say, right? That if they had a way to influence this, they would, but they couldn't because of this super duper contract, this locked tight contract, the most amazing contract in the history of contracts.
In the history of contracts.
But here we go. Let's hear what you have to say about it, folks. What do you think? Or should we still explore this because of the potential that's out there, the potential windfall? Is it going to be? Or are we just looking for more problems?
Even if there is a potential, not with this company.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm saying not with this company. This particular company, I don't think so. They don't even have a record of knowing how to really go about this, how to do this. This is just a formed company that, came together, slapped Bahamas on the name to make it acceptable, and now we're out there. So for me, it's a no.
Wow. All right, we're getting some interesting messages. We'll take the calls in a bit. You can call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Here's an interesting text here. Fees for the past year still not paid. I can't operate my business if I don't pay my fees. Can't operate a bank account without it. So how can they operate without fees paid? This is unacceptable. Well, there you go. That's one argument. One argument, you still don't know if you've paid what's owed.
Exactly.
This one here says, I don't think the government should extend BPC's drilling licenses. We, as an archipelagic nation, should not engage in oil exploration at all. We have the largest marine resources left in this hemisphere. We shouldn't be putting that at risk at all, no matter who believes in environmentally friendly oil drilling. It's nonsense. The government has the ability to stick to its guns and say, hell to the no. Okay. Another one. Okay. Okay. Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
And good morning, Ms. Gardner.
Good morning.
Yes, I am too in agreement that, I don't think we should, renew these licenses. And also, now the Prime Minister does have, I too agree that now the Prime Minister, he could come out, he could really put his money where his mouth is, right? But if you were watching this government, right, they were all about money, right? And BPL have this $13 million dangling in the front of them to have this contract renewed, right? So I'm seeing this being renewed only because of money and nothing else. Because this government then proved us that money is all they need, right? They don't need nothing else. They just need this money. And so at the end of the day, this unfortunate company, and I also agree with you too, Ms. Gardner, that this is not an experienced oil drilling company, right? It's a they shouldn't even be drilling no oil, no well, far as I'm concerned. Because if we are serious as a nation, and we don't want to mess up this beautiful pristine atmosphere that we have, why we can have somebody who don't have at least 50 years of oil drilling experience? Because people was drilling oil for 400 years in this world. So why we can just pick up some just fly by night guy would come with a proposal, but it's all about the money, guys. You'll have a nice day.
Well, we will see. This will be the test, right? Thank you very much. We'll see if they will practice what they preach, if they have an option, an ability, an opportunity here to prove it. To prove it.
Yes. Before it was like the only reason, this is what was implied, the only reason we're going through with this is because this super crazy glue contract, we can't get out of it. There's nothing that we can do. Our hands are tied. So you gave us that impression. It's not something that you support. So, okay. Now's your chance.
Yep. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
And good morning to the young lady in Freeport. Dwight, this only my opinion. I'm speaking for JG. Dwight, what is national debt?
It's a lot.
$9 billion plus, right? Now, here it is, right? And now, this only my opinion. If God give us oil, go and renew that license, and let's go try and find this oil. But see, what we do in this country wrong, the lawyers that will sign this contract, they do a lot of foolishness. If I take a contract, the kind of work I used to, I had to put like $1 million or $2 or $3 million. I had to pay insurance on these things. If maybe people put the money in the central bank, and so in case something goes wrong, the money will be there to fix up and do whatever needs to be done. Do I do guys out of all the states? We people, we look like some of us backwards in this country. Norway was drilling oil for 100 plus years. They ain't had oil, but
yeah, but Norway also doesn't have beautiful beaches.
Oil with BPC.
And they also don't have beautiful beaches, and they don't have
Exactly.
the marine environment that we have, right? They don't.
Right, I understand all of that. Not right. Anything you do in life is a chance, man. You open a business is a chance. Some people take some people 5-10 years before they make the first profit, and they do an excellent job.
But have you also heard how little we're going to benefit if they do find the oil? That's not going to drive down our oil prices. It's not going to.
The people in the power
we're almost at $5 for gasoline here. Yeah, and that hasn't happened. That didn't happen, and it's not going to happen.
But your guys at the port say you all need to hold their feet in fire. That's what you all need to do your investigative journalism on these people. Now,
and that's happening.
Is that I'm right, because I know I ain't getting no more. I heard you mention earlier with your introduction, somebody will be coming on from the central bank.
Yes, but
okay. Now, I want you to ask a question. One question, please, Dwight. Okay. Now, it's something called dormant account. Now, I think we have like $10 billion in that central bank with drugs, money, and money laundering. We asked them if the government could go in there and pass laws, let's say that law, so that we can use those funds to help our people and to help develop and do capital infrastructure. I'm trying to take my call, man.
I mean, that passed, and they write that law that they did do that. Now, you have to ask your government if they're using it for those things. Right? That's not the central bank. Boy. Okay. Again, the deal, we're going to get pennies pennies from any oil that is discovered. It is not going to be like Trinidad and Tobago where their gasoline prices are what, $1 something maybe. We are at the average here now. There's one gas company selling gas for $4.81 a gallon, and they're all inching closer and closer to $5. We're likely to see $5 if we continue on this path by the summer, right? Is that going to change at all? Doesn't sound like it.
How are we going to benefit from this, right? How do we benefit from this? And it's like you said, we're putting so much at risk, and with a company that doesn't have any proven experience. You know, the caller mentioned Norway, but Norway certainly didn't go with a company that didn't have experience. This deal, this company, when June comes, it can't be too soon.
Wow.
As far as I'm concerned.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Godly day to you on the voice, along with you and Mr.
Laverne Gardner. Mm-hmm.
Miss Gardner. How are you? How are you all?
Morning.
Wonderful. Dwight, you know what I don't understand? Why the government does be kicked around, mouth by people, and still be putting those same type of people in our business. What the government got to realize, we vote. So take your time, because the thing is, it's not your bedroom. We voting for you. You know, you don't have the prerogative to be doing the foolishness with our country, to our country, like it's your bedroom. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And I do want to, the previous caller mentioned Norway. I don't know whether they've had any oil spills there or not, but we do know they have had oil spills right here, right? Equinor, Grand Bahama, where you are, Laverne, that giant oil spill after Dorian. So I don't know what you bring up Norway for. We've got big problems. These things happen. Exploratory oil drills can be dangerous. Very dangerous.
And even seasoned companies like Shell and the rest of them, they struggle with oil spills. When you go back and you look years later, those countries are still feeling the effects, the marine life. And so, you know, there's all that risk.
Absolutely. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi.
And good morning, Lady Gardner, and good morning to those who wake up in the land of the living. Dwight, so you must admit today, I can see if you could admit to it, that now it's completely out of the previous government hands. Like people allegedly said that the previous government awarded this company the license, and I can remember very well. I think it was you had Mr. Simon Porter on your show, and he said that the government of the day, which is the Free National Movement, was the government that renewed the license. Now, here it is now. The government of today, which is the Free National Movement, once again, has the ball in their court. Are you going to extend the license, or are you going to discontinue it? So this is going to be very interesting, Mr. Strachan. Very, very interesting to see if this government that said that they're against oil drilling and they're against the environment being messed up, for a better word. I really like to see. I don't have nothing to say on it, but I want to see how this one can play out.
Okay, we all want to see.
Thank you, Dwight.
We all want to see, definitely. Thanks a lot. And another call on this. Good morning, caller. You're on there. Good morning.
Mr. Strachan, how are you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Scott, how are you doing?
Good morning.
All right, Mr. Strachan. Boy, you see how what goes on in the dark coming to the light. I mean, it is obvious now who signed the last 3-year deal, right? See?
No. What are you talking about?
Mr. Strachan, I can't make a point.
Well, you got to talk sense, though.
No, Mr. Strachan. I mean, Mr. Strachan, with all due respect.
All right, we're talking about what's happening right now. Let's talk about right.
Why is just so defensive?
No, because you talk a lot of nonsense and you say things that will get us in trouble. I can't today. No. Right? We all know that both of these governments did this. Anyway, what's going to happen now? That's the question. Let's see if you're going to put your mouth where you're... Well, anyway, where are you going to put your mouth? How about that? Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Ms. Gardner.
Hi, good morning.
Now, I agree with most of the stuff that's been said already. That's disagree with Ms. Gardner. BPC has had the success and experience. They have 5 wells in Trinidad and Tobago that is producing oil. But I don't care if it's BPC, it could be Shell, it could be Exxon, it could be Texaco. We shouldn't be drilling for oil in the Bahamas. Simple. You have too much to lose. It's not worth the gamble, especially if we're only getting pennies on the dollar return. We need to do what's best for us as a country, as an archaeological nation. We should be protecting our marine resources. We should be ensuring that we have those resources for future generations of Bahamians. And to go that route of oil drilling is basically, in my opinion, a lazy idea. And the government has the chance now, after all that time of saying that they're against oil drilling, to step up to the plate and do what's best for this country.
Okay. Yep. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we will see. We will see. This text, Laverne says that no, it wasn't crazy glue. It was Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue. Yeah,
Yes,
you've seen,
Gorilla Glue.
You've heard how effective that one is.
Yes. So that is what was used. Absolutely right, Texter.
Right. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So I think everybody we got the gist of how everybody feels about this one there. All right. Let's talk about this. AstraZeneca. Every day it's something new with AstraZeneca. Every single day. Well, this morning, some new developments. AstraZeneca insisting that its COVID-19 vaccine is strongly effective after counting additional illnesses in its disputed U.S. study, the latest in an extraordinary public rift with American officials. In a late-night news release last night, the drug maker said it had recalculated data from that study and concluded that the vaccine is now 76% effective at preventing symptomatic COVID-19 instead of the 79% it had reported earlier in the week. Just a day earlier, an independent panel that oversees the study had accused AstraZeneca of cherry-picking data to tout the protection offered by its vaccine. The panel, in a harsh letter to the company and U.S. health leaders, said the company had left out some COVID-19 cases that occurred in the study, a move that could erode trust in the science. Some experts say the new data provided by AstraZeneca was reassuring and that the information was likely solid enough for U.S. regulators to authorize the vaccine. A virologist at the University of Leicester, Julian Tang, who was not connected to the research, telling the Associated Press, quote, AstraZeneca may have been just too hasty in submitting the earlier incomplete interim analysis rather than waiting to analyze and submit the full data set. Now, he's saying the updated details didn't look substantially different from what was published earlier in the week. Data disputes during ongoing studies typically remain confidential, but in an unusual step, the National Institutes of Health publicly called on AstraZeneca to fix the discrepancy. The company had been counting on findings from a predominantly U.S. study of 32,000 people to help rebuild confidence in the vaccine that, despite being widely used in Britain, Europe, and other countries, like the Bahamas, has had a troubled rollout. Previous studies have turned up inconsistent data about its effectiveness, and then last week that scare about blood clots in some countries had some countries temporarily pausing inoculations. Most have since restarted it, but the European Medicines Agency said the vaccine doesn't increase the overall incidence of blood clots, but could not rule out a connection to some rare blood clots, and is now issuing new advice for monitoring those who get vaccinated. So now the question is whether the company's newest calculations can end the tension, even before the latest spats. Experts had expressed concern that missteps in the vaccine's rollout could undermine confidence in the shot, which is crucial to global efforts to end the coronavirus pandemic, since it is cheap, easy to store, and a pillar of the COVAX Institute aimed at bringing vaccines to low- and middle-income countries. Now, earlier yesterday, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the U.S.'s top infectious disease expert, told reporters he hoped that when all the data was publicly vetted by federal regulators, it would dispel any hesitancy caused by the spat, and he predicted it would, quote, turn out to be a good vaccine. Okay. So, let's talk about that. How does that change anything? I mean, we've got already quite a few. They're saying thousands of people here have already taken their first dose.
Well, Dwight, people are already skeptical about taking this particular vaccine. So, the change in the percentage of effectiveness will probably only further solidify their cautious feelings about this vaccine. But we'll see, right? Because it's here, it's being taken. So perhaps we'll be part of this study.
Or maybe we should do our own. Maybe we should do our own.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We should do our own.
Why not? Why not? Let's hear what you have to say about it, folks. Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Caller, good morning. Yep, let's take the other one. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Yep. Okay, let's take that one. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Milan. Good morning to both of you.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Real quickly, because I sort of phoned in when you were talking about oil, but I want to quickly say something about growing up in Grand Bahama at Pindus Point and running to school, to Hawksbill School every morning and smelling this oil. And then I went back there a couple of years ago, and it looks like a ghost town. I don't know why we would choose to risk even storing this oil thing. I mean, I see these gas trucks that bring you your gas to put in your propane. They actually run off it, and it's far cheaper. But anyway, in this life, folks, there are going to be winners and losers. And just remember that when someone wins, someone also loses. And it appears to me for the past 50 years, we've been losing. And I mean, you can clearly see there are people who are following these political parties, and they can't even pay their light bills. And for me, I don't understand. Why is it that they can't see that these people are not really in their best interest? The AstraZeneca virus, look, if they're going to try and experiment with a virus, at least you could get a group of people who want to say, look, I want to be the guinea pig for 5 to 10 years, and then when you're really sure you have something, then let's bring it to the public. Why you want to use the whole world as an experimental field?
It's a long time, though.
Huh?
It's a very long time, and people are getting sicker.
Yeah, but that's the time it should take. If there are going to be casualties, you're still going to wear your mask in the meantime and keep your distances, but at least you would know when you bring something to the public, you don't have to change your mind and say, oh, it's not 100%, it's only 50, and then now I have it in me. What do? I feel bad. You see, this is what's happening to us guinea pigs who are offering up ourselves to be studies. This is still a study going on, Don't forget that. We are still a part of the study. That's why I hear a lot of people say they can sit and wait. So make up your mind for yourself. Look, we've been losing, folks. It's time that we win. And we can only win if we get rid of all those who are causing us to lose. That's my take on it. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
I mean, if you think about it, 5 to 10 years would be great, but everybody wants a fix for COVID now, right?
Right.
So initially when they started talking about vaccine rollouts, and I'm not just talking AstraZeneca, I'm talking all of them, the concern was it was a rush. This isn't normally how it's done. That was an issue, but there was an urgency. There's a pandemic. People are dying. We need to do something. So I don't think that even the people who are reluctant to take this vaccine really want to wait 5 to 10 years. People want to be able to take off their masks.
Or at least go and hang around their families and see people they haven't seen in a year.
Right, people want to have Junkanoo.
323-6232.
I'm sorry.
Hey, man, the people do want to have Junkanoo.
Yeah, but seriously though, people do want to have Junkanoo.
Priorities.
So, they talk about it, we're rushing this. This isn't really how, but there's cause for concern. But nobody's really gonna want to wait 5 to 10 years. And then these companies, they are in, let's be honest, they are in the money-making business.
That is true.
You wait 5 to 10 years to come up with your vaccine, to say this is 95%, this is 100% effective. Everybody's already taken another vaccine.
Yeah. All right, here's a good text. All right, so this will answer your questions. All right, so we've talked about this a lot. So, but this texter is asking, can you explain if the 76% effectiveness is among people who would show symptoms, or does it mean 76% of people who take it did not show symptoms? All right, so what that means, right? 76% effective at stopping symptomatic COVID disease. 76% effective at stopping symptomatic COVID disease. So you won't have symptoms if you get it. But it's also 100% effective at preventing people from getting seriously ill. Right? Okay. All right. But there are other vaccines that have higher efficacy rates.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you concerned about this, Dwight?
Absolutely. I don't know if it would prevent me from taking the vaccine, but it is interesting. And it's interesting that there's so much debate about this one. And you don't even hear people talk about Moderna.
No.
Like, what? Yeah. But it is interesting.
Dwight, I'm just saying, in the world, 3% could be the difference between a pass or a fail. So.
Oh, why did you put it like that? Wow. Okay, Laverne.
I'm just saying.
Right? If that bullet had only been 3%. Anyway.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. All right. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning again.
Hi, good morning.
I think the key issue here is profit. It seems to me that this thing has always been about profits, why they rushing to do this thing. Because if you look at the CDC's guidelines for reporting COVID deaths, they changed the guidelines April 2020 to ensure that, well, I don't know whether they tried to ensure, but basically when they changed the guidelines, the number of deaths skyrocketed. Now, the thing is, we've had vaccines for over 80 years. The flu vaccine, at least, for over 80 years, or at least 80 years. And every year, we've had a different strain of the flu vaccine. So what makes this one any different? And considering right now that Dr. Fauci and other health experts around the world are telling you, even if you do get the vaccine, you still got to social distance, and you still got to wear the mask. So what's the point of taking it? At this point, anyway.
Although they're saying that people who are vaccinated might not need to do that as much, right? So if you're with people who've been
they say it might not be.
Yeah.
But they're not definitive about that.
I mean, I think the CDC has said that, right? That you'd be able to gather with vaccinated people. But when you're out in public amongst other people who may,
right, and when you're in
not
public, you still got to wear your mask and social distance.
I mean, that might be the way of the world going forward. The Asians have been doing it for a long time. There's going to be something new. There will be something to replace COVID that will make this look like a joke.
No one in the world should accept that foolishness.
Yeah?
That we should continue doing this when we know that the virus is not as deadly. I mean, 99% of people recover from this thing.
Clearly, some people were never washing their hands.
99% of
we
people
need
recovered.
to change the way we were living.
Just the last point I'm going to make. Look at the number of flu cases. They're saying that the flu cases drop because people are washing their hands and social distancing.
Yeah.
So the flu cases drop. Why are we getting COVID-19?
Because it's not the flu.
I know it's not the flu. You catch it the same way, though. So if the flu virus cases have dropped, shouldn't COVID cases drop also, considering we're social distancing and wearing our masks?
See, I suspect that people
Yeah, me it is.
Well, this is just my theory. People just aren't social distancing the way you think. They may do that in public, but you're right. There's a lot of stuff
But the
going
flu
on.
cases dropped,
Yeah.
but not the COVID cases.
Well, again, they're different. They're similar, but different.
But you catch them the same way. They are not basically the same for both.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make any sense. I mean, logically speaking, it doesn't make any sense. I think listen.
I don't know if that's entirely right, but I mean, they're different. They are different, and so. But anyway, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi.
Hello. Yes, how you doing?
Doing well.
Great. Still, with this vaccine, I don't care how much vaccine you take. If you continue to eat the bad food, your immune system's still weak. You still can get the COVID. So the main thing is, on the whole, strengthen the immune system, because they say you still have to wear a mask. You still could get COVID if you get the vaccine. What's the sense of getting it? The only thing they're saying, your time in a hospital might not be as long, but strengthen the immune system. I don't care what vaccine. You can get the Johnson & Johnson, all of them together, if you could combine them all. If your immune system is still weakened, still eating the bad food, you still can pick it up. So on the whole, strengthen the immune system. I'm 65, and I'm not going to take it.
You're not going to do it.
No, sir, because all you and Dwight, you not hear none of them abroad, neither here. Strengthen the immune system. Keep that immune system strong. You know, the fever grass, the pear leaf tea, the guava leaf tea, the moringa, the neem, all of those things, the vitamin D, the zinc. But see, a lot of these doctors were not trained that way, so that's why they're not going to tell you that. So that's all we need to do. I need to hear more of them telling people, keep the immune system strong. My reason why, a lot of them, because this thing is a money-making thing. It's real. The COVID is real. But you got to keep that immune system strong. I keep saying it, but you keep eating the bunch of sugary food, the cow milk, all of those things, a lot of red meat and all of that, the immune system can continue to be weakened. And so not just the COVID, any other disease, it can be worse because the immune system is compromised.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
I mean, and nobody's not telling people this. I mean, they've been saying that for years, right? You just have to wonder whether anybody really cares, right? The people who, they just don't care. They want to eat the garbage they eat. That's right. So you telling them that you need to eat lots of vegetables and fruits and boost. No, that's what's been happening. There are vitamin commercials every 5 minutes.
I don't think that it's that people don't care.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, in some cases, people, yes, there are always going to be people who want to do what they want to do, but let's look at cost, right? To eat healthy costs. Of course, in the long run, it saves you money, protects your health, but to be able to afford those things that are healthy is difficult for a lot of Bahamians. You know, think about it, a single parent with a couple of children. Man, listen, one head of broccoli is $5. I stopped buying cauliflower. I got to grow my own because it's $7. You know, so it's difficult. It's great. And let me be clear. I am a proponent. I support eating healthy. But let's also think about the fact that it is difficult. It is difficult when you are trying to provide for your children on minimum wage. You want to get the healthy stuff, but you know, a pack of noodles, like a case of noodle costs you what, like 10 cents? And then some chicken hot dogs or whatever, beef hot dogs cost you maybe about $5, and that can last for so much longer because, you know, we could do noodles for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. that stretches a long way. I mean, and I don't want us to really veer off into that, but I just wanted to say that. So sometimes you are constrained by the fact that you cannot afford to eat healthy.
I hear you. Okay. Here's a text. Loved your response to that caller who was running on about the flu. I had it a couple weeks ago. We're scared to tell people we have the flu these days for fear of it being diagnosed as COVID. Well, that's interesting.
Listen,
it's very interesting.
It's true, Dwight. You're afraid to sneeze.
Yeah.
You're afraid to cough.
You can't even choke in public.
Honestly, You're like choking in public, needing someone to help you. And people are like, oh, that must be COVID.
So, wow. That's interesting. Wow. We got to take a break. Caller, good morning. You are on Morning Blend.
Hello?
Hi, good morning.
Dwight, one of the things I'd like to say is that we have to support our local farmers market, our local farmers, and we have to get on board with our botanists. We can't go ahead and try to destroy our ecosystem, because a lot of the ecosystems and a lot of the botanists and the farmers markets are the key to our immune system being boosted up. So we have to watch our trend as well. There's a trick in this whole thing where the farmers on the farmers market are being left out. Let us deal with that. And guess what? Cost will not be so much of a problem. You know, Ms. Gardner, I want you to think about that. People always talk about the fruits and the vegetables being too expensive. Listen, this is a very complex situation when you look at it. But it could be that way, But guess what? It is really not. You just go local, get your farmers market involved, get your farmers, and it'll be really easy for you to handle. Anyhow, I'll hang up and listen because it sounds like it's being made complicated, but it's really not. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think people are, I don't know, over making this more complicated than it needs to be. And you know this. You know that you need to take vitamins. Everybody who says they're tired, somebody says, oh, are you taking vitamins? Every time you say something, people say, are you doing this? Do you do this? Do you exercise? We all know. But people are going through a lot of other stresses, and that's preventing them from doing this, and that they're taking comfort in food, taking comfort in alcohol, and taking comfort in all the bad things because of what we're dealing with. So many different issues, and that is taking its toll there. I think people do know.
Yep.
They just can't be bothered. A good portion can't be bothered, sadly, right? So in light of that, we have to do some other things.
Like take the vaccine?
Like possibly take the vaccine. Until they get it. How long have we been talking about diabetes and high blood pressure?
Yeah.
And obesity in this country?
Absolutely.
And yet. Right? Well, we got to take a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Calamity, sorrow for humanity. COVID-19, COVID-19. Oh, you're such a killing machine.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. After a public rift with experts, AstraZeneca is revising the estimate of how effective its COVID-19 vaccine is.
AstraZeneca says it has recalculated data from its disputed U.S. study and concluded the vaccine is 76% effective in preventing symptomatic COVID-19. That's instead of the 79% it claimed earlier in the week. An independent panel had accused AstraZeneca of cherry-picking data. The newest calculations were based on 190 COVID-19 cases that occurred, 49 more than had been included earlier in the week among 32,000 people, and no severe illnesses or hospitalizations among vaccinated volunteers were reported. I'm Jennifer King.
New this morning, the White House is announcing it's dedicating another $10 billion to try to drive up vaccination rates in low-income, minority, and rural areas around the country. The man suspected of opening fire at a Boulder, Colorado supermarket will appear in court today. 21-year-old Ahmad Alissa will hear the charges against him. 10 people were killed in the attack, among them 25-year-old Ricky Olds, who worked at the supermarket. Her uncle Robert says she was unique.
When Ricky showed up at the house, we never knew what color her hair was going to be. We never knew what new tattoo she may have. But that was Ricky. And Ricky lived life on Ricky's terms.
You'll likely hear reporters ask President Biden about the shooting this afternoon as he holds his first news conference. New Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is warning that we should pump $1 trillion and more into fixing up our infrastructure. He says other countries like China are doing this and more, and he calls that a threat to our collective future. Oakland, California will give low-income families of color $500 a month. This is AP News. Pope Francis is cutting the pay of Roman Catholic cardinals and some others who work at the Vatican. AP correspondent Walter Ratliff has this.
Pope Francis is cutting salaries for cardinals, priests, and nuns who work at the Vatican by as much as 10%. Francis says the belt-tightening is necessary to save jobs as the pandemic has severely reduced revenues. Bans on tourism by many countries and other pandemic restrictions have severely reduced revenues at the Vatican museums, which include the Sistine Chapel, a perennial moneymaker for the Holy See. The museums are currently closed and will stay closed at least through the upcoming Holy Week, which normally draws many tourists. I'm Walter Ratliff.
The Treasury Department sent out payments to Americans under the COVID relief measure totaling $325 billion. They're going to keep rolling out these payments over the next few weeks. Most people don't have to take any action to get the payments. If you qualify, you'll receive them. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
7:37 the time for your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. At this hour, in your real-time traffic, we're already seeing the heavy traffic on Smile Butler Highway from just south of the Fire Trail roundabout, all the way in the northbound lanes up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Gladstone Road looking a little bit better for you, but still heavy traffic as you get closer to the JFK roundabout in the northbound lane on Gladstone Road. Elsewhere, we're seeing the traffic building on Carmichael Road eastbound towards Blue Hill Road, and Blue Hill Road seeing some heavy traffic building from near the junction with the St. Vincent Road and just north of Carmichael. And once you get over that hill in the northbound lanes, heading towards Independence Drive. Elsewhere, we're seeing some traffic on Yamacraw Hill Road as you get closer to Fox Hill Road and Prince Charles Drive and Fox Hill, the intersection there. Don't forget that there's work going on just west of Fox Hill Road on Prince Charles Drive. Single-lane traffic for a good portion of the way there as they resurface the road. And the major intersections along Prince Charles and Robinson Road, so Prince Charles and Beatrice Avenue, Prince Charles and Soldier Road, Robinson Road and Old Trail, and Robinson East-West Highway Marathon Road. Those are your hot spots for now. We'll have another real-time report for you just after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic Alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. And time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Rev Cable Bahamas. We've got high pressure continuing to extend over the Bahamas, maintaining sunny, breezy, and stable conditions. Beachgoers, though, in the central and southeast Bahamas should exercise caution along eastern shorelines due to the risk of rip currents. For today, for all areas, your forecast calls for partly sunny, hot, and breezy conditions with a chance of a light, spotty shower today, becoming mostly fair and warm with a stray shower possible tonight. A small craft caution is in effect in the central and southeast Bahamas. It's 75 degrees right now in Nassau. Look for highs getting up to around 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, Atlantic high-pressure ridging will continue to maintain warm and sunny weather over the islands. Breezy conditions in the central and southeast Bahamas will keep a small craft caution in effect. So for tomorrow, Friday, that's going to be partly to mostly sunny and breezy conditions with a light stray shower or two possible. Saturday, mostly sunny and a bit breezy with a few passing showers possible. That's your morning blend. Weather check brought to you by Rev Cable Bahamas. Basketball fans, sign up or upgrade to Rev Trio and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free. Call 601-8992 or email trio@cablebahamas.com to sign up. Rev, you and us together. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Your home is where your heart is, but it's more than just shelter. Your home is your workplace. Your home is school for your kids. Your home is even your happy place where you play. Get the best internet connection wherever you are with blazing fast speeds up to 300 megabits per second for as low as $99.99 and installation within 48 hours. Sign up for any of our fiber packages today and get a chance to win a free tablet in your second month. Call or WhatsApp 577-SHOP or 424-SHOP and sign up today. Conditions apply.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank the way you want.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and carved body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Get ready! The real March Madness is here! Up to 100% off store-wide at Alive! That's right! Devices, earbuds, tablets, and so much more with crazy slashed prices! Pay close attention to our social media pages. Visit any Alive location or visit BeAlive.com for the best deals on some of your favorite devices and accessories. That's March Madness going on now at Alive. Believe in best.
Basketball is back, baby, and so is NBA League Pass, only with Rev Trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free, along with incredible prizes including a brand new 50-inch smart TV, NBA gear, and more. With tons of prizes and gear, signing up for Trio is the best on and off-court move this year. Just call 601-8992 or visit www.rev.bs/promotions/trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free.
Meet Jackie. Jackie's a hard worker with a steady income, but she has a personal loan and multiple credit cards to pay off. To keep her account current, Jackie opted for a loan from Fidelity Bank to consolidate her debt into one monthly payment and earn interest on a built-in savings account. Be like Jackie. Call 356-7764 to book a complimentary financial coaching session. Fidelity also offers virtual assistance. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Hello,
My name is Dr. Dane Bowe, orthopedic surgeon and currently chairman of the Bahamas Medical Council. Here are the facts about the AstraZeneca vaccine. Tens of thousands of people participated in the stage 3 clinical trials, and there were no instances of serious illness or death attributed to the vaccine. That safety record has held steady as the vaccine is being rolled out to millions of people around the world. The AstraZeneca vaccine is cost-effective to purchase, and since it does not require ultra-cold storage like other popular vaccines, it is easier to ship and store, making it a popular choice for many countries around the world, including the Bahamas. It is projected that over 200 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine will be produced per month as production ramps up to save even more lives, establishing it as one of the leading COVID-19 vaccines. To learn more about the COVID-19 vaccines, kindly visit us at opm.gov.bs/vaccine.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Leaving home out on the road. I've been down before. Riding along on this big old jet plane. I've been thinking about my home. But my love life seems so far away. And I feel like it's all been done. Somebody's trying to make me stay. You know I've got to be moving on. Oh, big old jet airliner, don't carry me too far away. Oh, big old jet airliner, 'cause it's here and I've got to stay.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with Laverne Gardner up in Grand Bahama. Laverne, when was the last time you all saw a big jet line up there at the Grand Bahama International Airport? Do they still go there?
Dwight, are you making fun of
No,
Carmel?
I'm asking a serious question. Can a big jetliner land there? Is it whatever that thing that you call an airport at the moment?
At this time, I would say no, but yes, that it is possible.
Okay, all right. Just asking for a point of
I
information.
feel like you're kind of poking
Not at
fun
all.
at
This is a very sad situation. Very, very sad. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. I just want to read this text that came in during the break. This is a pretty good text. People need to listen to this. We shouldn't be buying too much stock into the efficacy rates of these vaccines. This is based on when and where the clinical trials were done. So those vaccines with the higher efficacy rates, like Pfizer or Moderna, were done early in the pandemic during lower infection rates and fewer variants. What's important is that the fact that all the vaccines are 100% effective at preventing serious sickness and death. 100% at preventing serious illness, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
Yeah. All right, so just keep that in mind. All right, so as we said, Grand Bahama, we heard about this in the house yesterday, and Laverne and I talked about this a few weeks ago. That what did I say? If they spend more than $2, it'll be a problem, and I think you said $1.
Yes.
And that is what they are going to buy the airport for. It might be worth 99 cents, and they should pay it in those pennies that are no longer. Anyway.
Agreed.
But, yeah. But, of course, that only tells a part of the story.
That's true.
A very tiny part, as it's going to cost millions to rebuild this airport. And, of course, who's going to get stuck with that bill? Yeah, you know. Take a listen to this report from our Jasmine Brown.
The tourism minister led debate on the Airport Authority Amendment Bill 2021, which seeks to make several amendments to the original act to provide for the acquisition, management, and control of the GBIA and its relationship with the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
And this minister-led administration and this Minister of Aviation is of the view that the airport in Freeport, the gateway into Grand Bahama, should be owned by the government.
As D'Aguilar made his case for why the government wants to acquire the airport, he revealed that the purchase price may be low, but the investment needed to get it back up to scratch will cost up to $50 million.
The purchase price is $1. Yes, Mr. Speaker? $1. Plus, there's always a plus. Plus the assumption of a portion of staff-related costs. Plus the assumption of a portion of staff-related costs, which should not exceed $1 million.
D'Aguilar said the government is looking to enter into a public-private partnership for the rebuilding. But before that happens, he says the government will spend about $1.5 million on repairs to improve the facility in the short term. The airport, owned by Hutchison Port Holdings and Port Group Limited, sustained significant flood and wind damage as a result of Hurricane Dorian in September 2019. D'Aguilar said he expects the purchase to be completed very shortly, adding once the sale is finalized, the asset will be transferred to the Airport Authority, which will create a special purpose vehicle to operate and redevelop the airport. Anglerston MP Glenys Hannah Martin says the government is allowing Hutchison to divest itself of the less attractive parts of its original agreement.
But what you have allowed a foreign investor to take all the cream and leave us with the burden in this country. And I believe, and I don't know, but I believe there's even more burden because you've not laid that heads of agreement in this parliament. We do not know what you have agreed to further burden the Bahamian people.
She also accused the government of allowing Hutchison to run off with the insurance money.
Once the acquisition of the Freeport International Airport bill, which we're debating here, is passed in the parliament, Hutchison would have successfully offloaded/dumped two economically challenging entities that were expected to grow and prosper under the hands of the giant. Hutchison wanted out and waited for the moment. And it's the same government who let them take the insurance money and run, Speaker, and pay for it. $65 million upfront and millions and millions and millions since then.
Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Glenys Hannah Martin making a lot of sense yesterday during that debate.
Yes, absolutely, Dwight, and I agree. You know, when I heard the $1, I was like, okay, I'll go with that. I thought it was going to be like 50 cents, but you know, fine. I won't quibble over 50 cents buying the dollar. But my concern, the assumption of a portion of staff-related costs, which should not exceed $1 million. What is that? What is that? It's like I said before, the devil is always in the details. And we usually don't get the details until we're all in. The public, I mean.
Right.
But it's us who have to bear the burden.
Absolutely.
So I'm interested in what this staff-related cost that should not exceed $1 million.
Yep.
So it's really not a dollar.
No.
It's a dollar, I guess, for the property, but then it could, the staff-related cost, whatever that is, should not exceed $1 million.
Right.
What is this staff-related cost? Like, I need more details.
We all do. We all do. So as again,
Dwight, where's my FOI? Where's my FOI?
Oh, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. This D'Aguilar quote: "We cannot rebuild this airport from government finances. PPP will be the only way that we can do this. But the government will spend that $1.5 million on repairs to improve the facility in the short term."
Well, you know, as I've said a couple of times on the show, we have to, like, how long can we keep doing it? So I was listening to the parliamentary channel, and you know, them touting what all we're getting, and then talking about the runway and all the acres and acres of property. And I'm thinking to myself, but where's this property located? This property is located in an area that floods every single time the Grand Bahama gets hit by a hurricane. So we've purchased this now for $1,001,000. We're gonna spend another $1 million on repairs and upgrades. But at the end of the day, whatever we invest, are we still putting this airport here? So we're gonna go through this every single time, God forbid, a hurricane comes Grand Bahama's way?
Yeah.
Like, we can't keep doing this now.
Yep.
Because what's going to happen is we're going to constantly find ourselves in this position. You know, God forbid, it may not even be as bad as Dorian. But whenever we have one, that airport, where it is impacted.
All right, so for Nasuvians who have no idea, explain to us: is it the water coming from the north side of the island that just rushes in, or is it in like a little bowl or something, and the water just pours in there? Why is it always an issue?
I think it's a combination of both, but yes, it is, on the north side.
Mm-hmm.
And that area, like I said before, that entire area, people who build homes in that area that's close to the airport, Queens Cove, it's what it's called. I don't even think that they can get insurance anymore. So if you decide to rebuild your home in that area, nobody's going to insure you because it floods.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so listen, we got a lot of messages coming in. We got calls coming in as well. Somebody says here, buying this airport is like buying a car sprayed with DEHS, removed by March 31st, 2021, pumping money into the worthless entity instead of moving it elsewhere and starting from scratch. There are always multiple hidden costs in a rebuild. Yeah. Some other messages here. The minister said before the airport purchase would cost about $50 million. Now they bought it for $1. Well, no, that's not exactly. That's not the way to look at it. That's not the way to look at it.
The $50 million, I think, came about when they're talking about, doing the full whatever work that they're going to do to make it more than a hangar.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's the amount of work that needs to be done. But
right. To make it an actual airport.
Mm-hmm. There's a text. The very person who was against nationalization and government buying these type of assets was Diaghilev, and now the government should not buy the airport and let the port fix it. Let the port fix it. Okay.
That's why the government is buying the airport, because the port is not fixing it.
Nobody wants to fix it.
Is not fixing it.
Right. Another text. Freeport Airport is swampland, bro. What would you pay for swampland that you have to reclaim? The infrastructure is no good in heavy rain, much less a storm. The sellers are well aware of that. The land must be raised. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. They might want to talk to some people in the Netherlands as well. Talk about dams and something. I don't know. Something needs to be done there, but it's going to be very costly. And it might be, as you said, Laverne, it might be cheaper to move it. Might be cheaper to move a little east, not as far east as some people were saying. It might be cheaper to move a little west, not as far west as some others were saying, but it might be cheaper than just give up on that area. Someone says should not exceed $1 million. Should is not a definitive word, so it potentially could exceed that, and I suspect that it will.
Yeah, I don't disagree, And that's why I said, you tout this $1, but, he said it himself, Diaghilev said it himself. Plus, there's always a plus.
Yeah. All right, we got a break for news. That came up quickly. We'll be back. Callers, I hope you can hold. We'll be back after the news. Stay with us. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio, 96.9.
It's all been done. Somebody's trying to make me stay. I've got to be moving on. Oh, big old jet airliner, don't carry me too far away. Oh, big old jet airliner, 'cause it's here and I've got to stay. Goodbye to all my friends at home. Goodbye to people to go out and make my way. I might get rich, you know, I might get busted, but my heart keeps calling me backwards.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Is trying to have its remaining oil drilling licenses extended. It's Thursday, March 25th, 2021, and you're listening to the Guardian News Network Morning Report. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Ferguson. Thanks so much for tuning in. Also, ahead in the news, the Prime Minister gives more details about the proposed upscale housing development for young Bahamian professionals, and police arrest a man attempting to sexually assault a little girl. But, topping the news, its Perseverance well may have failed to find commercial quantities of oil, but that's not stopping Bahamas Petroleum Company from contemplating how to profit from its other drilling licenses in this country. The company announced yesterday it plans to seek an extension for the 4 southern licenses it holds for drilling an exploratory oil well in the Bahamas. It's pursuing a 3-year drill and drop exploration period, which means if the company does not drill within 3 years, the licenses would be forfeited. Those licenses currently expire in June. BPC says with $13 million in cash on hand as of March 1st, it is in discussions with industry counterparties considering a potential farm out of the licenses to introduce a funding and operating partner for the next stage of exploration activity in the Bahamas. Well, Attorney General Carl Bethel told the Nassau Guardian yesterday that government has set a meeting to discuss the matter, at which time its position on an extension application will be clearer. BPC, by the way, has yet to resolve its dispute with government over how much licensing fees it still owes the Bahamian government, fees which should have been paid in full before starting work on any exploratory oil well. In other news, the bill to amend the Airport Authority Act to allow for the acquisition, operation, and management of the Grand Bahama International Airport by the Airport Authority passed in the House of Assembly last night in its entirety with no amendments. In closing out debate, Tourism and Aviation Minister Dionisio Diagula hit back at the opposition's criticism over the true cost of acquiring that airport and Hutchinson Port Holdings' failure to reinvest any of the insurance money it received back into the hurricane-ravaged property. Saying he believes it was a good deal, Diagula told Parliament government bought the airport for $1 with additional costs for surrounding buildings, but he argued the opposition should be the last to complain about bad deals.
And y'all talking bad deal? Y'all were the captains of bad deals. Y'all knew what bad deals were. All y'all did was negotiate away the government money in concessions and have nothing tangible. At least we got a hotel. You might think it's not a good hotel, but at least we got something. And now we getting an airport and we buying it for under $1 million. And you look at that airport. You got the runway. Yeah, the buildings are impacted. I get it. You got the land and all of that for $900,000. Man, that's a steal. That's a steal. Let me tell you something. If they had used the insurance money to fix it up, what do you think they would have given to us for $1 still? They would have said, okay, now the airport weighs $20 million. They said, okay, we ain't gonna fix it up, buy it as is. And they say for $900,000. I say, okay, that ain't a bad deal. That look like a good deal to me. I bought plenty property in my life. That's a good deal.
It's estimated that rebuilding the Grand Bahama International Airport will cost government between $40 to $50 million. While saying his government is determined to make land more accessible and affordable to Bahamians, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis last night gave notice that at the next meeting of Parliament, he will move a resolution that would approve the use of 83 acres of Crown land along John F. Kennedy Drive for an upscale, eco-friendly community that would give young Bahamian professionals between the ages of 18 and 45 access to affordable land.
Where young Bahamian professionals will be able to purchase lots of approximately 95 by 100, the lots for the same $50,000. And whereas the government will put all the necessary infrastructure in place at the sole cost of the government, such that the lots would be worth $150,000 with all of the infrastructure installed. And whereas the first area identified is 93 acres of land in the vicinity of Bahama property, the development will be an upscale community that incorporates walking paths, food parks, a community center, a swimming pool, and will also be eco-friendly with minimal change to the existing topography of the land.
Dr. Minnis explained that 40% of the lots will be multifamily lots at $50,000 and 60% will be single-family lots at $40,000. 10 approved home architectural drawings from the Ministry of Works will be offered to homeowners at $1,000 each to save cost. Government will also grant certain exemptions like waivers of customs duties for building materials to make construction of the homes more affordable, with those homes needing to be completed within 2 years of the property being purchased. And to ensure fair play, the Prime Minister explained that a committee will be established that will set the rules and policies in the selection process. In addition to 2 other upscale communities planned for New Providence, Dr. Minnis said government has also already identified land in Abaco, Southern Eleuthera, and Exuma for similar projects to encourage Bahamians to move to those islands. He said it was time to finally provide such concessions to Bahamians.
We've heard repeatedly that the foreigners receive more concessions and benefits than the Bahamians. And therefore, we will dispel that myth and we will demonstrate that the Bahamians will definitely get more than what is offered to any foreigner. And Mr. Speaker, nobody can say that this is not the people's time.
Well, in his presentation, Dr. Minnis indicated that development near Bahamar will be located near a parcel of land reserved for the building of an official home for the country's prime minister, but he made clear that no work will proceed on that project.
Mr. Speaker, I want to clarify. The land adjoining that is reserved for the official residence of the Prime Minister. I have no intentions of building any nor moving. So I don't want the people to think that I'm building a residence for myself. I am very happy. And in 2027, who is the new Prime Minister, they may build for themselves. But I'm quite happy there, man.
In other news, a 29-year-old man was arrested by police yesterday after he was caught in the act of exposing himself to an 11-year-old girl who was on her way to school. Assistant Commissioner of Police Solomon Cash confirmed that the man, who appeared to be a vagrant, was observed walking behind the girl with his pants down before concerned citizens moved in to stop him. The incident was first made public through a viral voice note, and last night, Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd spoke to the incident in Parliament.
Speaker, I just want to confirm that this morning there was an attempted sexual assault on a 7-year-old Palmdale primary student, just maybe about 100 yards from the entrance to her school. The individual was accosted after some chase by 3 men who happened to be passing by. He appeared to be a person maybe mentally somewhat challenged, who had dropped his pants and exposed his genitals to this young child as he attempted to accost her. And he is now in police custody. Of course, it was a traumatizing event for the young lady, but I have seen some social media posting, and I want to confirm that that story is.
Well, Assistant Commissioner Cash told the Nassau Guardian the girl was unharmed, and the suspect who initially escaped the scene was captured a short time later. Well, Atlantis officials say that they met with taxi drivers yesterday afternoon and that the issue over the reduced number of taxi drivers allowed at the resort has been resolved. About a dozen taxi drivers used their vehicles to block the entrance to the Royal Towers property yesterday, claiming Atlantis bosses were trying to stop them from making a living by limiting how many drivers would be allowed on property. In a press statement, Atlantis executive management explained that the limits were part of their COVID-19 protocol designed to protect guests and were enacted because safety measures were not being carried out in the parking lot and holding facilities for taxi drivers. The resort added their belief that the number of slots for taxis are more than sufficient in servicing the needs and occupancy numbers for Atlantis' 3 hotels. The resort expressed disappointment that taxi operators would try to disrupt the overall guest experience at a time when the resort is experiencing its highest number of visitors since the pandemic began. But the resort emphasized the determination to ensure the relevant and necessary safety protocols for the protection of guests are continued. Stay with us, there's more news after the break.
So, Gianna, how often have you been flossing? Well, you know that's not enough. And are you still working over at the daycare? Okay. How's Franklin? Haven't seen him at the club. Mm-hmm. I see. How are your boys doing? Okay. Sounds good. Now you just tell me if this hurts. Oh boy, that's a doozy. Did I ever tell you about the shark I found in my pool?
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like a dentist that doesn't try to talk to you with your mouth full.
Sounds good.
CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that. Atlantic Medical Insurance Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Carlisle Pension Services Bahamas Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Pensions. And Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
At Master Technicians, we have what your family traditions need, starting with industry-best refrigerators, ranges, and ovens. We also carry Whirlpool washer and dryers, dishwashers and freezers, leading KitchenAid countertop appliances, blenders, microwaves, juicers, kettles, and KitchenAid stand mixers. We even do free delivery in New Providence or to the boat of your choice. Whether you're doing the laundry, creating new memories in the kitchen, or spending family time in front of the television, Master Technicians Limited, keeping family traditions alive for more than 50 years.
Shoppers who know value really know super value and quality supermarkets. Rainbow tuna, 5-ounce can, 69 cents. Alberto mayonnaise, 32-ounce jar, $2.29. Mart's apple juice, 1 gallon, $6.99. Barra's classic or chicken franks, 12-ounce pack, 2 for $3. Panami raw shrimp, $31.40, 1-pound bag, $6.99. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. with double stamps on Sundays. Super value and quality supermarkets.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
Brother Major jump off the boat onto Porter Ski and make a beeline to Sun Isles. Tell Miss Wallace them, I need a battery for this, a battery for that, and a battery for this. You got them? She say, man, you joking? I'll put a battery in you too. Major say, you mean you can still energize this old bunny? She say, man, we'll give you one good overhaul service, lubricate your 21 joules, then jumpstart your lithium battery, man, you'll be good as new. Major say, well, I didn't know you could do all of that. She say, well, of course I can, because that's the kind of me I am.
Sun Isles Watch and Clock, number 112 Montrose Avenue. Watch and clock sales and repairs for over 40 years.
Cancer is smart. It pushes us. We push back, challenging conventional thinking, finding smarter solutions. That's what makes Cancer Treatment Centers of America one of the leaders in precision cancer treatment, using tools like advanced genomic testing and immunotherapy to bring more options to our patients. Cancer Treatment Centers of America. We're not just fighting cancer anymore. We're outsmarting it. Visit cancercenter.com/outsmart to learn more.
Introducing the new Slices and Sticks from Little Caesars, an unexpected combination. 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, 8 Italian cheese sticks, and 1 crazy sauce, only for $9. Didn't expect that one, right? Grab the new Slices and Sticks at Little Caesars Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, or East Street South in the Pineapple Plaza. That's 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, 8 Italian cheese sticks, and 1 crazy sauce, all for only $9, and only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Welcome back. The number of persons hospitalized for treatment of COVID-19 in this country is now at 31. The majority, 14 of those, are on Grand Bahama. That island recorded 4 new cases of the virus Tuesday. 10 new cases were identified on New Providence, 3 on Abaco, and 1 on Eleuthera. Those 18 new cases pushed confirmed cases nationally since the start of the pandemic to 8,953. 932 remain active. And the effort to vaccinate as many residents as possible should get a boost by the end of this week. That country should take delivery of its first shipment of vaccines through the COVAX facility. Georgia Bain reports.
The Bahamas is among 21 countries expected to receive COVID-19 vaccines through the COVAX facility by the end of this week, according to Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne, who was asked about the timeline for the vaccine shipments.
I know this is a preoccupation of many countries in our region. I want to assure you that PAHO is doing all that it can to accelerate access to vaccines in our region. Following PAHO's negotiations with the COVAX partners, we have ensured that 21 countries in the Americas will receive their first deployment of vaccines by the end of this week. And in early April, all countries in our region will be able to receive their first deployment of vaccine.
The Bahamas began its vaccine rollout 2 weeks ago with a gift of 20,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine from the government of India. The Bahamas is expected to secure more than 100,000 doses through the COVAX facility. An initial down payment of $250,000 was made earlier this year. Edian noted that supplies are limited and will only be able to assist a small percentage of many countries.
This is good news. But supply is limited, and the amounts deployed represents in many and most cases a small percentage of the country's populations. So despite some progress, our region has been and remains the epicenter of COVID-19 pandemic, with many countries reporting high mortality.
The Bahamas is among 15 Caribbean countries expected to receive just over 2.1 million doses of COVAX vaccine by May. Despite a gradual rollout of vaccines, Edian said COVID-19 cases continue to rise in the Caribbean.
More cases were reported in the region last week than the week before, which means that despite the gradual rollout of vaccines, millions of people remain at risk of illness and death. We must continue to take COVID-19 seriously.
The Ministry of Health reported 18 new cases on Tuesday, 10 on New Providence, 4 on Grand Bahama, 3 on Abaco, and 1 on Eleuthera. Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Georgio Bain.
That's going to do it for local news. Stay with us. AP News is next.
At Apex Award Signs and Engraving, the name says it all. The country's trusted name for trophies, plaques, corporate seals, rubber stamps, badges, bumper stickers, traffic and street signs, keychains, t-shirts, interior signs, restaurant menus, and so much more. Apex Award Signs and Engraving, number 128 Mount Royal Avenue in Wilton Street. Open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturdays. Visit the website at apexawardsbahamas.com. Apex Award Signs and Engraving, number 1 in the Bahamas.
Benazir Lampkin, I can see clearly now. The Cadillacs is gone, and I tell you, Bahamian is the way to go. I said, Pendy, you sounds like a patriot. He said, you got that right. I's a Bahamian, and I believe in Bahamian. Lampkin, this year you will see a lot more Bahamian/Hinder created products in our showroom. I said, like what? He said, I can't tell you Pacific yet because, you know, you get some out there who rather copy than be original. But rest assured, we'll be using natural products found right here in these beautiful islands. Support Bahamian. Check out Hinder Tile on Prince Charles Drive.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Jada, jump in the car. Hey girl, your new ride looking good. Gal, it was rough. No one wanted to insure me as a new driver, and cause I young, thank goodness insurance right there across from the police college on Thompson Boulevard. Shield hooked me up with one solid policy at a decent price, minus the shade. Them other companies was joking. Well, I glad you get straight. Call Shield Insurance in Nassau or Freeport. They've got you covered.
Shield Insurance Agents and Brokers. Tuberculosis, or TB, is an airborne disease that mainly affects the lungs. When people infected with TB cough, sneeze, sing, or laugh, droplets with the bacteria that causes TB can be released into the air and may affect others. Some people are at higher risk of developing the disease if exposed to the TB bacteria. If you were in close contact with someone with active TB disease, recently traveled to a country where TB is common, have uncontrolled diabetes, have HIV/AIDS, are malnourished, live or work in a hospital, prison, or nursing home, or are a child under the age of 5 years old who was in contact with someone with active TB, you may be in the tuberculosis high-risk group. Contact your healthcare provider or the Ministry of Health's Tuberculosis Surveillance Unit immediately at 502-4728 or 502-4803. Tuberculosis is preventable and curable. The clock is ticking. Let's end TB.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including aquaventure water park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Business travel just got easier with the Alive Corporate Business Plan. Check your messages, check on the staff, or simply keep your emails in check. When traveling on business, you'll have the confidence in managing your office, staying in touch with your team, vendors, and customers. You can roam like you've never left your office with the all-new suite of Alive Liberty Executive Plans. For more information, contact the experts at Cable Bahamas Business Solutions. Call 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands today.
This traffic report.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:22, it's time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got high pressure ridging that continues to extend over the islands, maintaining sunny, breezy, and stable conditions. So today we are looking at mostly sunny, hot, and breezy conditions with a slight chance of spotty showers, becoming mostly fair and warm with a stray shower possible tonight. Beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should exercise caution along eastern shorelines due to the risk of rip currents. 76 right now in Nassau. Look for highs getting up to 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, Atlantic high-pressure ridging will continue to maintain sunny and warm weather over the islands. Breezy conditions in the central and southeast Bahamas will keep a small craft caution in effect. So for tomorrow, Friday, look for partly to mostly sunny and breezy conditions with a light stray shower or two possible. Saturday, mostly sunny and a bit breezy with a few passing showers possible. That's your Morning Blend weather check brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. What's first for you comes first for us. $8:24, time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. And start from west to east. We're seeing on Carmichael Road, westbound towards Coral Harbor Road, heavy traffic in that westbound lane this morning. That's looking pretty busy there. Eastbound, heading towards Blue Hill Road, you'll get to more congestion as you get closer to Blue Hill Road this morning. But Blue Hill Road, as usual, heavy from St. Vincent Road up to Independence Drive, especially north of Soldier Road, where you get over that hill heading towards that roundabout with Independence Drive backed up both directions, but mainly westbound. looking pretty bad this morning for you on Independence Drive. Elsewhere, Smile Butler Highway, heavy traffic northbound, especially north of Fire Trail. The northbound lanes towards Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Gladstone Road looking a little bit better for you, but still heavy traffic the closer you get to JFK Drive this morning. In Eastern New Providence, we are seeing heavy traffic on Eastern Road, westbound lanes, and Prince Charles Drive and the major intersections, especially Prince Charles and Fox Hill. Don't forget there is work just west of Fox Hill, so it's going to be single-lane traffic in both directions as the resurfacing continues. And then further west on Prince Charles, as you get closer to Beatrice Avenue, you're going to be seeing quite a bit of traffic as you get to that light there. And on Beatrice Avenue, Beatrice southbound heading towards C.W. Saunders Highway and Bay Lily Drive looking pretty bad this morning. Eastbound on C.W. Saunders Highway as well, heading towards that intersection. Those are your hottest spots this morning. There's more like Soldier Road, Soldier heading eastbound to East Street, and Soldier near Windsor Place. Those might be some areas you want to avoid today. But good luck to you. That's your real-time traffic and your morning night traffic alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
You're in a bad state when you ain't got no money. No, you're in a bad state. I don't think that's funny, no. I told my girl I lost my job. She said, baby, you got to think it out, 'cause you're in a bad state. You ain't got no money, no. You're in a bad state. I don't think that's funny, no.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be picking up our monthly series, FYI, for Your Innovation, with Cable Bahamas Business Solutions. We're going to be talking with them in just a bit. And for now, though, we continue with our discussion of what's in the news, talking about Freeport, talking about Grand Bahama, the airport situation there. I'm getting your text messages as well and your calls, 323-623-2325, 431-6, 325-4259. Is that caller still there? We want to take that one there, Laverne, before we get to your text messages. Let's take that call, and then we'll get to those messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, man. Listen, I've been pushing for this thing where government can take over the airport from past governments, even when they, like you guys said, catastrophes happen, they take the insurance and don't invest it back in the property. But this time, I think it's a good trade-off because, I work for the airport, still working there for over 30 years, and I think it'll be a good investment because the returns in the long run is going to be tremendous for the government and for the people of the Bahamas, especially those people in Freeport. So from the investment point of view, I think it's a good trade-off.
You have no problem with Hutchison taking the insurance money?
Listen to me, man. If the fellow owe you and he take the money, but he gives you something, right, that value more than that, I would take it. Because the past governments that we had allowed them to say, of course, they could carry the money, and if you get nothing.
Is that what happened in this scenario? Is the airport valued more?
But in this one,
well,
we are getting a trade-off. See, you guys got to talk to investors, persons who are getting properties and reselling them and reinvesting them. See, the long term, I know how the airport works here at NAD and other places here. The return is tremendous. Jobs and taxes coming back to the government is tremendous. Get someone on your show who could really
that's
give
for
an idea
good scenarios. That's
on
not the
return.
same thing here. This is swampland that floods all the
But
time.
listen, you take plenty swampland in the Bahamas here, and look here, properties are in the millions. I don't know if you're familiar with Nassau. We have many swamplands, even on Cable Beach area. Look at the millions. See, you guys got to get someone who know about investment. I had a lady on the side. She don't really understand investment. Get someone who can give you an idea. You can take a swampland and make billions of dollars. Okay, Las Vegas. I mean, it's tremendous. Get the right people to give you an idea. I think it's a good trade-off for the first time for all the governments. This was a good move. Okay, it's an excellent move.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Laverne, I got to pick my mouth up off the floor. We're going to have to pump a lot of money into this before we get
an
that.
opinion,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
They had to do something.
Facilitate
You're right.
them being able to express their opinions. He feels, based on his experience, that it is a good deal, and so
What we bought was the name.
right.
Right? That's what we bought. The land is a problem. There is no building. Right? In most instances, like what he's talking about will make sense. Absolutely, because there's potential. The potential here will be the millions that we pump into it. So it's a little bit different. Well, now, something had to be done. We
And
can
like I
all
said,
agree
you
on
know,
that.
You have to look at what is it going to take, because it's not just a matter of the government purchasing the airport, and then, okay, we have this airport, we just fix this, tweak that.
Right.
You have to look at this in the long-term process.
He brought up
What is
NAD. This was nothing like Nassau International, right?
What
Nothing
is
like
this
that.
going to cost us to be able, if we stay here, if we keep this property, if this is going to be the airport, what is it going to take? How much is it going to cost for us to go up, to do whatever we need to do, so that in the event of a natural disaster, this airport is not destroyed, is not flooded again. So you have to look at all of this, right? And take all of this into consideration. What is it going to cost?
Yeah.
The other thing is, we can't continue to let Hutchison do this to us, or any investor. They come in, then like Glennis Hunter Martin says, they come in, they take the insurance money, they offload the property that they probably didn't want to start with, and the government takes it, and now we're responsible, and we got to fix this up, and it's a win for them, right? It's going to cost us.
Yeah.
It's going to cost us, and it's going to cost us a lot if we are serious about making sure that this airport, if it stays where it is, isn't vulnerable or as vulnerable to all of the flooding that happens because of natural disasters.
Yeah. We're not saying,
So, you can't discount that in the investment portfolio. I by no means have claimed that I'm an investment guru, but I'm just saying, we have to look at this entire thing. Yes, there will be benefits, of course, in the long run, but what is it going to cost you?
Yeah. And the government was in a very difficult position. It had to do something. And there was no way it was going to be a total win. But let's not pretend like we got the best part of this deal, right? The insurance money, they should have been made. I don't know why there's always this weakness to put that money back in, at least fixing it temporarily, and then we go ahead with the long-term redevelopment of the airport. But for them to benefit from that, and that's it, $1, okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Beautiful.
Think of it like this. It's the dollar. It is the staff-related cost, which should not exceed $1 million, which should not. So, but we'll just say $1 million, and so we're at $1,001,001, and then I think an estimated $50 million They said maybe to bring it up to whatever.
Yeah.
So, we have to think about all of that. And anybody that buys swampland, you don't just buy swampland and just, okay, we have swampland, we can make this. There's certain things that you have to do, right? You're going to have to build it up if you want to really make any serious investment and get a return on your investment.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to put some money into this investment. And so it may be a while before you see a significant return.
Quite a while.
We can't continue like it doesn't make any sense if we just take this property and just go, okay, let's tweak here, and we're good to go.
Some text messages before we take these calls really quickly. Someone says, if you're purchasing a liability, $1 is 100 cents too much. Well, again, they're in a tough place. Something had to be done. But I mean, a better deal. Hey, you pay for this for the short term and still give us it for $1. Maybe that, right? But wow. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight and Ms. Gardner. How y'all doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, and good morning to the nation. I'm very concerned about not just what's in the news this morning, Dwight, but everything that's happening right now in our country. When we look at what was in the news this morning, last night, the PAHO announced that the Bahamas is only going to receive a minimal percentage of the 100,000 plus doses of vaccine that was paid for with Bahamian tax dollars, which mean, and they didn't tell us what that minimal amount is. I'm assuming that the minimal amount was so small that it would have been totally embarrassing to even state what that percentage is. But tying that into tourism, Dwight, Ms. Gardner and the nation, that's going to lead to greater delays in the Bahamas government and the Ministry of Tourism being able to reassure the international community and the tourism traveling public that the Bahamas has what it takes in order to provide them with the level of safety that they require. What that is going to cause, and this is what the government isn't talking about, by the way, so I'm projecting forward. We'll probably hear about it in the next few weeks. What that is going to cause is a lot of the hotels, if they're going to invest their monies into ensuring that they inoculate their staff and they create the environment on their properties for a safe stay, they're going to seek to go back to that bubble program again, where tourism in the country is starved, and the only people benefiting from tourism in the country are the persons who own the hotel properties. In Grand Bahama now, taking it over to Grand Bahama, we have a cruise liner that's, well, we don't know the details first and foremost, as the Honorable Glennis Anima stated, right, as you all have been discussing this morning. And so that's the biggest part of the problem. We have no idea what the real cost is, and on top of that, we have no idea through the PPP, through the public-private partnership, which the minister continues to tout, who these players are that are going to be benefiting from our asset, because they're not telling the Bahamian people that they're going to structure the investment deal as such that we could benefit from our own in investment or asset through the redevelopment of any of these major airports throughout any of the family islands. We already see that the Minister of Tourism has stated publicly and in Parliament that they have aligned financing and as well as construction firms for at least 4 of these airports that are going to be redeveloped. And so the Bahamian public, Dwight, Ms. Gardner and the nation, is being shut out of all sorts of economic opportunities, even in these most difficult times. Bahamians we still have a great percentage of Bahamians who still have the ability to invest, who still have the ability to take advantage of opportunities that are being created. But the government is not even thinking about us in those regards. All the government is doing is looking at ways of giving away our assets, not getting anything in return, and they're not putting in place any formula to provide the level of safety and the level of confidence that is going to be required in order to rebound our tourism product in a timely manner. Okay. And that is going to lead to more deficit, record level deficit setting in Parliament. That is going to lead to more record level debts in our country, and that is going to hurt our GDP at the end of the day. And
Anton, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's take this call quickly, and then we got to take the break. Good morning, caller on the air. Caller, good morning.
How are you this morning?
Doing well.
And your guest. I don't think this purchase of the airport make any logical sense at this time. And let me give you my reason why. Okay. Just the other day, Hutchison Whampoa was trying to sell the same airport to the government for $30 or $35 million, right? Hello?
I don't recall that. But
Yes,
go on.
that was in the papers.
Okay.
And that was also on the news. Okay,
right.
Diagla also spoke about it. But we don't have an idea what the insurance claim will be for that particular airport. So Hutchison is no way losing, okay? My scenario would be, okay, for $51 million, I'll call it $51 million. Let's round it off at that. Why don't the government acquire the old naval base in East End, Grand Bahama, okay? Spend about $30 to $35 million in renovations, new radars and everything else, skim the runway and everything else, okay? The spin-off will be greater for the whole entire economy of Grand Bahama because right now, when they complete with this airport, the port gets most of the money, the Port Authority, okay? The government just get a spin-off from that because the port collects most of the taxes. But if they go out of the port vicinity, the government will collect the majority of the taxes, and the spin-off will be greater for the Bahamian people because they can employ more persons if you spend for $35 million. Take about another $10 million, invest in the community for infrastructure. I'm speaking about the entire community of Grand Bahama, okay? Exception probably Freeport, because Freeport is run by the Port Authority. You can employ more persons, and you have about $5 million left in case if you have any problems with that particular airport. I think that $50 or $51 million will be spent much greater to benefit the Bahamian people.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I hear you. Or you could do what has been proposed. Buy out the Port Authority. Although I don't know how much that would cost Laverne. But,
That's not going to happen.
What? Oh, boy.
It's never going to happen.
Well, then is
That's how I feel.
Freeport ever going to have any real success? Because I don't know.
All
right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we are FYI for your innovation. Cable Bahamas Business Solutions. We're going to talk with them after the break. Stay with us.
Money, 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 money. Oh yeah.
So, Gianna, how often have you been flossing? Well, you know that's not enough. And are you still working over at the daycare? Okay. How's Franklin? Haven't seen him at the club. I see. How are your boys doing? Okay. Sounds good. Now you just tell me if this hurts. Oh boy, that's a doozy. Did I ever tell you about the shark I found in my pool?
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like a dentist that doesn't try to talk to you with your mouth full.
Sounds good.
CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that. Atlantic Medical Insurance Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Coral Isle Pension Services Bahamas Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Pensions. And Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Stay a step ahead of technology with certainty and support from Custom Computers. Our know-how team is here to help you zero in on your next big tech purchase, finding solutions that take your productivity to the next level using only the best and most reliable brands. With 4 stores all across Nassau on East Bay, West Bay, Old Fort Bay, and Palmdale, there's no stopping you from stepping up your tech. Reach out to us at 396-1100. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAO, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAO, growing wealth for future generations.
Looking for plenty food and you're on a budget?
Wait, I'm break.
Stop into Wendy's and grab our latest bundle. Introducing the Biggie Bag. With the new Biggie Bag, you get a Dave's single, junior fries, regular drink, and 4-piece nuggets for only $7.25, VAT inclusive. Add an apple pie for just $1 more. Now that's a deal. It's the best on these streets. Available at all locations. Restrictions apply. Wendy's, different inside and out.
RBC and Visa bring you a benefit as unique as you to enjoy Disney Plus. Get 2 months of the all-new Disney Plus streaming subscription on us if you have an RBC Visa Platinum card. Learn more by visiting www.rbc.com/Caribbean/Disney. Reimagine new ways to bank better.
Get ready! The real March Madness is here! Up to 100% off store-wide at Alive! That's right! Devices, earbuds, tablets, and so much more with crazy slashed prices! Pay close attention to our social media pages. Visit any Alive location or visit bealive.com for the best deals on some of your favorite devices and accessories. That's March Madness going on now at Alive. Believe in best.
Imagine. That's where every advancement begins, with an idea that things can be different, better, now. Imagine a world where your entertainment experience was all about you, your style, your show, at your budget. At Rev, that's what we've imagined. To join the conversation and learn more about the future of Rev TV, visit us at rev.bs/imagine.
RBC and Visa bring you a benefit as unique as you to enjoy Disney Plus. Get 2 months of the all-new Disney Plus streaming subscription on us if you have an RBC Visa Platinum card. Learn more by visiting www.rbc.com/Caribbean/Disney. Reimagine new ways to bank better.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
You know I was legal when I come to you. You gave me food, clothes, and protection too. You said don't worry about a thing, just show your loyalty. It's the comfort that you'll bring. When I look around, I got papers and passport working on my visa. I soon gonna be straight. Boss lady tell me send for family. She can clean me out and I am the clothes for me. Confidential, it's a confidential thing. This matter is serious, we don't know what it will bring.
And we are back with Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And it's time for FYI for your innovation. And Cable Bombs Business Solutions back with us as they are every month. Today we're talking about Join the Click. It is a small business initiative. And here to tell us all about it, very pleased to welcome back to the show, Delmaro Duncombe. It's been a while. Welcome back. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas. It's definitely a joy to be back on. I still take joy in listening to you every morning.
Well, I appreciate it. I don't know why you're saying still. But like, what, did something change? I don't understand. All right. We're good. Glad that we still have your support. And you've brought some friends along today. We have Jade Sparks from Craven in studio. Great to have you with us. Good morning. And then on Zoom, we've got Allison Middleton from the Central Bank of the Bahamas. Allison, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so great to have you all with us. All right, so Delmaro, tell us about Join the Click. What exactly are you trying to do here?
Yes. So for this installment of For Your Innovation, we wanted to focus on our most recent initiative, which we call Join the Click, which essentially is an initiative we at Cable Bahamas Business Solutions started to really drive the whole idea of digital transformation, particularly for small and medium-sized businesses. We're at the point in our lives where technology is no longer a choice. It's really a fundamental business strategy that businesses must embrace in this country. And so we want to help small businesses in particular understand that and let them know that here at Cable Bahamas Business Solutions, we have many of the tools that they would need to drive that innovation to help their businesses succeed. And so we're here with our partners this morning. Two of them, Central Bank is on the line, Allison and Jade from Canoe. Two of our partners, Craven, thank you. Jade from Craven to speak to how we've been able to assist to help drive this whole idea of digital transformation.
Yeah, Craven's definitely been getting a lot of attention. But before we get to you, let's talk to Allison. Allison, are people getting it, though? Are people really understanding that this is the way the world is heading and they need to get on board or get left behind?
They understand that this is the way that the world is heading. I believe that we still have some work to do for to drive adoption, particularly on the family islands, which we had started to pay attention to during the pilots, but with COVID, we had to pull back on that.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think can be done to get more people on board?
So we made a conscious and very decisive decision, I guess, to really have a gradual rollout. So from October to about now, just to make sure that we are all aligned, us and our stakeholders, our financial partners, supervised institutions. But we expect, and this relationship with Cable Bahamas Business Solutions is perhaps the first step in us really pushing adoption and our public engagement, which begins next month.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. So let's talk about Craven, one of the success stories, some would say, of the pandemic here in the Bahamas. You all have been really doing it. You started before that time, though, but really seemed to blossom over the past 12 months. Let's talk about that. For those who aren't familiar, I don't know where they've been, and how this digital transformation is helping you all.
Well, people in the Bahamas definitely feel as if... Good? Okay, yeah. So people in the Bahamas definitely feel as if Craven brought COVID here. We didn't. It just so happened. So Craven, we launched in October 2019. We just wanted to make it more convenient, and that's one thing about technology. It brings convenience to customers, so they're able to order food, groceries, beverages, and have it delivered right to their home, to their work, to the beach, wherever you are at. So again, we just definitely launched the app to bring convenience and give people options. You know, we don't only have to order pizza all the time. Let's definitely give customers options, and then also make it easy for our vendors to reach clients all over the island so that they're not reaching the people that's in the immediate area, definitely reaching people all over. And then also for our drivers, they're able to log online whenever they're available. So essentially they're their own boss. So it's great that technology can help vendors, it can help employees such as drivers, and then also customers. And then also definitely saves where you don't have a brick and mortar model. It's more feasible as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is cash involved at all?
No,
no cash
it's
at
time.
all.
It's
Zero.
time to, you know,
Zero cash.
it's exactly. So we definitely want to embrace the credit cards and debit cards, and hopefully it inclines people to go and get it so that we can move away from cash. And then it's definitely good for people like Canoe and Cash and Go that are digitalizing funds as well.
Has there been resistance to the no cash? People say,
They're mad at us. And
Really?
I'm like, no, don't get mad. Go get a debit card. Just, you know, so hopefully it does prompt them to go, but they are upset that we're not taking cash. But that's, again, a liability, and it doesn't involve technology.
Right. It's much safer for your drivers, I'm sure.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So we want to have you all back for our show to talk in depth about how it's been. But can you give us a little hint as to how much did business increase during the pandemic?
Plenty. Like to say the Bahamas, plenty.
Everywhere you go, you just see the orange shirts, the Craven.
Yes. And the thing is, we like, when we were designing the shirts, when it came, we were like, oh my God, these are bright. And then now it's working out.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many drivers did you start with, and how many do you have now? That may be a telling.
Right.
I can answer that one. So we started off with 20 drivers, and now we have 120 drivers.
Oh,
yes.
my goodness.
Yes.
That should be a
And you're
telling
looking? Are you looking for more?
Well, not at the moment,
Okay,
not at the
right.
moment. But definitely we will be onboarding more drivers. And then what's great, we are, the app is available in Grand Bahamas as well.
Okay. We've got Laverne in Grand Bahama. I'm sure she was about to ask you about that.
No,
Hey,
Dwight.
Laverne.
All right, so
You know that would have been my next question
Absolutely.
because I am a big believer in technology, having a cashless society. Like I'm one of those people, I rarely have cash on me. So I like if I go to a place, I'm like, you take cards?
Yeah.
No?
And then you
Okay,
just have to
well, I
walk out when they tell you no, right?
Right.
Right. All right. So Grand Bahama, tell us about that. And what's the operation like in Grand Bahama? So far?
Yes, so we launched in Grand Bahama, I would say, my brain's not working on that one, but about a few months ago. Currently, we have KFC, Wendy's, and 700s and Solomon's over there. But we do plan on onboarding more vendors. We just haven't gotten to Freeport yet because when we were planning to go, lockdown occurred.
yeah.
So we are planning to go hopefully in the future so that we can onboard more vendors and also grow Craven in Grand Bahama as well.
Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. You mentioned some non-food places, so it means you can also get
Oh,
food.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know that. Yeah, that's flashlights. So you can do that as well. So Craven can be your personal shopper essentially.
We are your personal
Yeah.
shopper,
Excellent.
essentially. Yes. So you can order from Lowe's in Nassau as well, and you could order from Solomon's and stuff like that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So we're expecting more of this type of stuff, Del Mar.
This is exactly Obama's Business Solutions. We want small businesses to know that we want to partner with you. We want to help your businesses grow and thrive and succeed. I do remember having the conversations with Kyle in the initial stages of this project that they've been working on. So I know the struggle that you went through, and so it's just a joy for me to see. COVID bittersweet. I get it, but it's actually a joy to see now that we had to go through that time for the consumer base to understand that these options are available. It's quite convenient. I think I used it the other day to order from Mexico, but I think it was
good stuff.
Shrimp tacos for a combination. So it was just a joy to see how the business came from watching it from infancy to the point now where they have over 100 drivers, and,
Yeah.
and they're looking to expand around Bahama. And so this is the type of innovation that we want to drive in our consumer market today.
Yeah.
And so we want to encourage people to get in contact with us. Please, you can send us emails, Kale Bahamas Business Solutions, businesssolutions@kalebahamas.com. We'll be happy to discuss how we can help you innovate your business with many options we have available. We don't have the time to talk about it all,
Right.
but simple cable modem services, mobile services, Wi-Fi services, cloud services. Please get in contact with us. We'll be happy to sit down and talk to you about how we can help your business grow.
And this might be for you, but also for Allison. So for other companies that are lagging behind or reluctant to get on board, what advice would you give them? What would you say to them about taking that giant step forward?
I would just say, really, the technology is there. It's been tested, it's been tried, and whatever hesitation you have, just reach out to the central bank if you're interested in Sand Dollar for payment solutions, or directly to Cable Bahamas Business Solutions, because we have the experience and we are all very happy to help you.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
If I could add to that, Dwight, we have been doing a number of webinars where we have really been driving Sand Dollar and the whole idea of e-commerce and digital payments, and we will continue to do just that. We've had one specifically with Sand Dollar. We did it with Canoe. I think we're going to be working with Island Pay coming up. So we really want to drive this whole idea of e-wallets and digital currency, because we talked about the people who are the unbanked, like we call them in the business, who can go and have access to these services without having to go through a bank.
Yeah.
And so they could eventually be able to use services like Craven and others,
Right.
Even though they don't necessarily have a bank account, so to speak. So that's definitely what we want to drive and help people to know that it's available, so they can go and start signing up for these services.
Yeah, and even, I mean, Craven's taken it to another level, but Allison, there's still these companies that, as Laverne mentioned, I mean, they don't even accept it if you walk into the store, accept a credit card or a debit card. Is there something that can be done about that? But what do we do in a situation like that?
Well, I don't think we want to force anyone to accept any type of payment method, but I think getting them to understand that what Sand Dollar provides is a safe alternative to cash. And so if they don't want to accept Visa or debit cards, they can provide the sand dollar as a digital payment, which automatically means that they will be able to accept payments from our supervised financial institutions, an Island Pay, a Canoe, Mobile Assist, for instance. Okay. And so this is just an alternative means of payment for them. And it really does, and it will also allow them to accept a greater payment from people like Laverne and like me that are really uncomfortable walking around with cash.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Allison, in your experience, what do you think, and maybe you don't know, but in your experience, what do you think is the reason behind the reluctance of some businesses, businesses to want to just go cashless? What do you think is the reluctance? Is it a fear that, I'm not going to get all of my money? I don't know, but maybe in your experience, you kind of have an idea what the reluctance is?
From what people have told us, or have told me directly, there's a concern about fees that's related to going cashless. Mm-hmm. There's also a concern, or I guess the fear of the unknown. They're comfortable with cash. They know that once they have the cash in their hand, they can deposit that or spend that immediately. And really changing that mindset and getting them to understand with the credit cards and the debit cards, for instance, the settlement of payment is not immediate, whereas with Sand Dollar it is. And just explaining that and getting that information out there is key and essential. But I think the greatest, the reason behind this resistance, Laverne, is really, besides the fees, is really the fear of the unknown.
Wow. But again,
you're probably right. And just another question. What do you recommend for those home-based businesses? Let's say you have a home-based business and you want to be cashless, or you want to provide that other option for a customer.
So for home-based businesses, they can register for a Sand Dollar account, or what we call wallet. And if they go to our website, sanddollar.bs, we actually step you through how you can sign up for that. And as long as the person that is sending the funds to you has a Sand Dollar enabled wallet, and that can be through any of the supervised financial institutions, they can start accepting payments immediately.
Okay, excellent stuff. Delmaro, once again, tell us about Cable Bahamas Business Solutions, how we can reach you, how we can get more information.
Yes, we have a great team of salespeople that's ready and poised to assist you with all of your business solutions needs. And so we want to encourage anyone with any questions, which is some very good questions Laverne just asked, to contact us at businesssolutions@cablebahamas.com. That's business solutions, one word, at cablebahamas.com. And one of our tremendous team of salespeople will be able to contact you right away and get you rolling with any services that you need.
Excellent. Jay, this is a text for you. Craven is perfect, cashless, and excellent service. Every driver is beyond professional. I spend over $200 a month with them easy. Wow.
Keep it up. Thank you so much for your kind words.
All right, and what's the number for people to reach you all at?
You can download the app in the App Store on the Android and iOS device, and we do have a Contact Us feature in the application, or you can reach us via social media.
Excellent stuff. Great.
See how smart that is? Don't call them.
Don't call them.
No.
You should see the look she gave me when I said call.
Download the app.
What year are you living in?
Download the app and contact us.
That's the best
while
way
you
to do
download
it.
that, order some food.
We'll start doing that with Guardian Radio. All right, so thank you very much, Jade Sparks. Great to have you here from Craven, Alison Middleton from the Central Bank of the Bahamas, and Delmaro Duncan. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Indeed. Thank you.
All right, we're going to be back with Morning Blend Business after the news. Stay with us.
The big party and all the people celebrating, happy and so jolly, celebrating the big party. East, west, north, and south. side. They coming from all about. When the people working together.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
You're listening to the Guardian News Network update on the hour. Bahamas Petroleum Company is seeking an extension for its 4 southern oil drilling licenses in the Bahamas. The company announced yesterday it's pursuing a 3-year drill and drop exploration period, which means if the company does not drill within 3 years, the licenses would be forfeited. Those licenses currently expire in June. Attorney General Carl Bathel told the Nassau Guardian government plans to meet on the matter, after which its position on an extension application will be clearer. BPC's last exploratory oil well off Andros failed to find commercial volumes of oil last month. In other news, government has identified an 83-acre plot of crown land near Balmoral and just off JFK Drive for the first of 3 planned upscale affordable home lot projects on New Providence. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis told Parliament 40% of the lots will be for multifamily use at $50,000 and 60% will be single-family lots at $40,000, offered to Bahamians between the ages of 18 and 45. A special committee will decide the rules and policies for selecting who gets to purchase. Dr. Minnis said his government is determined to make land more accessible and affordable to Bahamians. And Atlantis officials say they have resolved issues over the reduced number of taxis allowed on their property after meeting with taxi drivers yesterday afternoon. About a dozen taxi drivers used their vehicles to block the entrance to the Royal Towers property yesterday as they protested those limits. The resort claims its controversial action was taken because COVID safety measures were not being carried out in the parking lot and holding facilities for taxi drivers. It also maintained the belief that the number of slots for taxis are more than sufficient in serving the needs and occupancy numbers for Atlantis' 3 hotels at the moment. That's what's making headlines at this hour. Stay with us. AP Update is next.
Boy, you know what's going down tomorrow?
No, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Boy, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you want?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Penn. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody? I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Boy, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, him and these boys coming for me next.
All right, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So how did it work?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the calls go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pen.
Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Hello, sir. Your credit card bill is due. Hello, sir. It's time for your monthly loan payment. Tired of creditors pounding at your door? Sign up for a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank and consolidate your debt into one low monthly payment. What's more, you'll also earn interest on a built-in savings account. The pandemic has curbed many freedoms, but at Fidelity, our focus is to help regain your financial freedom. Visit a branch or speak to Fidelity Bank at 356-7764. COVID safety measures in place at all branches. Fidelity, we're good for you.
This traffic report brought to you by Shield Insurance.
Drivers along some Alabama Highway are feeling the benefits of having that police assistance out there this morning. That even flow of both sides has given tremendous clearance to the heavy traffic in that area. Still got remnants of heavy traffic leaving Glaston Road, though, getting out onto JFK. The Carmichael Road line up there, getting onto Blue Hill Road is there, and reducing orderly and getting over the hill at Blue Hill. It's very busy, though, but hopefully that will calm down soon. Traffic in the $20 million roundabout on Blue Hill is also being affected by the heavy flow that's coming in from Independence Drive on the east side, and Independence Drive itself has got heavy traffic flows heading onto the East Street roundabout on the other end. At this hour, East Street from the south has a busy ride north, crossing Soldier Road and getting into the roundabout in Independence Drive area. And Soldier Road itself is really busy, especially up around the Abundant Life and the Old Trail area along that route. And then there are those after 9 slowdowns that just dissipate as it gets later. The Prince Charles Drive ride from Soldier Road into Marathon, Soldier Road single lane that heads into the Wolf Road intersection, and we still got considerable traffic that's hung up on Eastern Road heading into the city. Elsewhere, we're getting ready to build a daily traffic flow, especially in the city routes, Nassau Street, East Street, Palmdale, and Angleton. No real congestion as yet, though, just busy and short delays. In the past 24 hours, police were called out to 6 traffic accidents, fortunately none with any injuries. However, there are still 8 individuals still hospitalized due to traffic accidents. Several ongoing road works are causing road delays and detours that you should be on the lookout for, including Prince Charles Drive on the east end, and then there are road changes being made at the Blake and West Bay Street intersection. This National Traffic Report is being brought to you this hour by Dr. Danny Johnson Associates at Foot and Ankle International, who offers the simplest and safest treatment for painful feet. They're located at Dean's Lane atop the hill at Fort Charlotte. Call them at 322-5402. With your Randers Guy look at traffic in real time, I'm VA-SS.
I'm Rita Foley with an AP News Minute. New numbers from AstraZeneca on how effective its vaccine is after a public fallout with experts. The AP's Jackie Quinn.
After criticism from a U.S. panel of medical experts about potentially outdated information, AstraZeneca slightly lowered its estimate of its vaccine candidate's effectiveness, going from the 79% it reported Monday down to 76%. The company still plans to apply to the FDA for an emergency use authorization.
Nursing homes have to publicly disclose their vaccination rates for flu and pneumonia, but there's no similar mandate for COVID-19 shots, even though the steepest toll from the virus has been among residents of long-term care facilities. Now, lawmakers of both parties are urging the Biden administration to require disclosure of coronavirus vaccination rates for residents and staff. I'm Rita Foley.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, March 25th, 2021. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Laverne Gardner still with us in Grand Bahama. Laverne? Still there, Laverne? Mic muted? Okay, well, we'll get Laverne back in just a bit. Coming up this morning, BAIC celebrating its 40th anniversary. We're going to talk with them about the Bahamas Agricultural Industrial Corporation, their work, and how they are assisting small and medium-sized businesses in the country. That's coming up. But first, it's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. In your morning business report, Lucine Renewal Holdings Chairman Michael Scott, QC, says he expects a deal to be formalized with Holistica, the joint venture between Royal Caribbean Group and Mexican company ITM Group, for the sale of the Grand Lucine Resort Complex in no more than about 2 months, though he added that there are subsequent plans for the hotel if the Holistica deal does not come to fruition. Scott saying that the goal is to sell the hotel to Royal Caribbean through its investment entity or some other qualified entity, but if that doesn't work, he says he's sure there will be a plan B or plan C. Scott says no agreements will be entered into with unions until the hotel deal is closed. RCI, Royal Caribbean International President Michael Bailey, said on Monday that Holistica has every intention of moving forward with the purchase and redevelopment of the Grand Lucine Resort. Meanwhile, the Grand Lucine Resort, which is reopening its Lighthouse Point Hotel today after 1 year closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, has been bleeding $1 million per month while earning no revenue. That's according to Chairman Scott. He spoke to the media yesterday, outlining that 40% of those costs are simply to keep the power on to avoid any other problems, such as mold growth. He added that about 37 employees will return to work, growing to 50 to 60 as bookings pick up over the next few days. While the COVID-19 pandemic caused the Bahamas Maritime Authority's revenue to drop more than 7% during its last fiscal year, its board approved the remittance of an additional $4 million to the Consolidated Fund during this economic downturn. Operating revenues declined by 7.5% from $16,890,305 in 2019 to $15,616,160 last year, according to BMA's annual audited report. The authority usually remits about $220,000 per month. However, its board of directors said it agreed to step forward and assist the Bahamas government by remitting an additional $4 million to the Consolidated Fund. This brought the total amount remitted to the government during the last fiscal year to more than $8 million, and the total since the authority's inception in 1995 to more than $104 million. Regarding the decline in revenues, the BMA stating it tried to buffer itself from the impact of COVID-19, but major clients, including passenger ships, where the authority receives most of its seafarers' revenues, were greatly affected, resulting in lost revenues in the fourth quarter of the financial year. Overseas, from the U.S., the number of people seeking unemployment benefits fell sharply last week to 684,000, the fewest since the pandemic erupted a year earlier, and a sign that the economy is improving. Thursday's report from the Labor Department showed that jobless claims fell from 781,000 the week before. It's the first time that weekly applications for jobless aid have fallen below 700,000 since mid-March of last year. Before the pandemic tore through the economy in the U.S., applications had never topped that level. Still, a total of 18.9 million people are continuing to collect jobless benefits in the U.S., up from 18.2 million in the previous week. Roughly one-third of those recipients are in extended federal aid programs, which means they've been unemployed for at least 6 months. More from the U.S. The U.S. economy grew at an annual rate of 4.3% in the final 3 months of 2020, slightly faster than previously estimated, as recovery expectations for 2021 rise along with vaccinations, as the U.S. unleashes nearly $2 trillion in government support. GDP in the October through December quarter rose from an estimate last month of 4.1%. The upward revision reflected stronger inventory restocking by businesses. For the whole year, the GDP shrank by 3.5%, the largest annual decline since a plunge of 11.6% in 1946, when the U.S. demobilized after World War II. The 3.5% drop was unchanged from the previous report. Economists are looking for a huge rebound this year, helped by government support packages, including a $1.9 trillion package signed by U.S. President Joe Biden on March 11th. That's delivering $1,400 payments to individuals, extending emergency unemployment until early September, and providing billions of dollars in relief to state and local governments. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX. From Wednesday, your market movers, Bahamas Waste moving 100 shares, closing at 640 unchanged. Focall moving 3,350, up 19 cents to 362. Consolidated Water down 4 cents to 264. Emira Incorporated moving 7,000 shares, up 2 cents, closing at $11.03. The BISX All Share Index closing at 1,915.15, up 8.44. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. You're listening to Morning Blend Business. Remember, you can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook, facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 4224796. When we come back, we are talking with BAIC, the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation. That's when Morning Blend Business returns here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAL. Growing wealth for future generations.
Girl, Junior just showed me Bella Boy in his phone.
What you mean? He take picture of that good-for-nothing boy?
Shh, you don't want Bella here. You say that. You know she always say that's my good child.
So what he doing in Junior phone?
Oh, he there because the police looking for him. He on their wanted list.
Wanted persons in your phone now?
Yes, child. And when police want to find anybody quick, after something happen, they can send pictures direct to your phone. Go to Google Play or App Store and search for Crack Crime Bahamas, then pick install, and it will go straight to your phone.
There is also a section on missing persons?
Yes, girl. Everybody needs to get this app so police can tell us right away when these people go missing. Just like an alert system.
Yes, it has numbers for Crime Stoppers Bahamas, so you can call and nobody knows it's you. Call directly to Miami and give the information without giving your name or anything about you. I tried the other day, and when I hear Junior and his boys talking about where they hide those guns, I walk quick round the corner and call that number.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
For the past 33 years, Great Commission Ministries has been defending the poor and hurting, feeding the hungry, and sheltering the homeless. We invite you to support our Live to Give program and make a difference in these challenging times. Become a donor by giving a one-time annual gift or a monthly donation of $50 or $100. Call Great Commission Ministries at 325-5801 for more details. Or visit our headquarters at 237 Wolf Road. Join Live to Give today. This public service announcement is proudly sponsored by this radio station.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
When you ain't got no money,
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9 Morning Blend Business. Dwight Strachan with you, along with Laverne Gardner. Laverne, we've got you back, right?
I'm right here.
Okay, there we go. Great stuff. So, as we said, it's the 40th anniversary of BAIC, the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, and we're going to talk about their celebrations, but also the work that they do and what you need to know if you are a small and medium-sized entrepreneur and how they can help you. Very pleased to welcome with us this morning. We've got the chairman of BAIC, Bishop Gregory Colley, and general manager Rocky Nesbitt. Gentlemen, great to have you with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Unfortunately, the chairman is not here today, so you will have the general manager at your disposal.
Hey, well, that's all well and good. That's perfectly fine. So great to have you with us on the show finally.
Thank you.
All right.
The first time. Good morning, Gardner, and good morning to the Bahamas.
All right. So tell us about BAIC. We'll get to your celebrations in a week, but tell us about the aim, what it is that you do, and how that's different from some other entities out there that sound very similar, but might not have the same objectives.
You know, government agencies and corporations, they have all these acronyms, but Bahamas Agriculture and Industrial Corporation has been around for 40 years, and our mandate is to assist small businesses and to ensure that entrepreneurs have the support necessary to be successful in the Bahamas, moving away from looking to government for employment and moving forward to have more private entrepreneurs exercise their commercial rights and activities in the Bahamas.
Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot there. Now, people think food all the time when they think of BAIC, but that's not just what you do. Is that right?
Definitely. We definitely assist persons with business plans, executive summaries. We also have a cadre of land, not only in Providence, 2 industrial parks. We have land in Eleuthera, Andres, and Abaco. So we lease land for Bahamians in the event they have a commercial activity that they would like to expand and explore.
All right. So how does this differ from something new like the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center, and something a little bit older like the Development Bank? How are you all differentiated?
Well, BDB, along with SBDC, they are financial agencies that assist persons with finances in their businesses. But BAIC is a support mechanism. So prior to you going to those agencies, you come to us. So we assist you with your executive summary and your business plans and give you that hand-to-hand assistance. And then we will turn you on to those agencies for funding. So the only differentiation is BAIC does not exercise any financial instruments for business activities.
Okay, very good. So,
let me ask you a question. Let's say someone comes to you with a business plan. Maybe does BAIC have the information, the data available to say, well, or make those kinds of recommendations? The market is really oversaturated with this type of business. Here we can make some recommendations into other areas that are underserved, and maybe you can make those kinds of considerations. Does BAIC do that?
Definitely. We have a dedicated research department, and one of their key mandates is to provide data and information so that persons know where the most viable options are within the Bahamas when it comes to different categories. One of the things that we're doing now is we're doing not only a land audit, but also a commercial assessment of our properties, and we'll be zoning them moving forward and then advertising them. And then Bahamians will understand and have a better appreciation of which areas will be more viable based on the properties that we have, and also throughout the Bahamas. So yes, we definitely assist persons and guide them in the most viable options when it comes to commercial activities for entrepreneurs.
All right, so that was going to be my question, Laverne. So what have you found so far to be not exactly viable?
Well, I won't try to discourage persons in regards to what is not viable, but one of the things that, sorry for all of the noise today, we have a wacky Thursday. So
People are excited for the anniversary.
yeah, they're really excited. It's 40 years. And the funny thing is we have our chairman, he just arrived, and he looks like Bob Marley resurrected. So you'll see the pictures on our Facebook page.
Oh, you're actually having a wacky Thursday. So that's okay, literally.
And persons are dressed up in their regal and retrofitted outfits.
Oh, I see.
Today. And the chairman is Bob Marley II, I guess.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bishop Colley. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. To get back to your question, one of the things that we want to focus on is more technology, more data-driven activities. I won't discourage persons when it comes to their creativity and their innovation. One of the things that we would tell you is we're moving away from just leasing a cadre of land, but we want it to be, sufficient, self-sustaining, and very strategic. And we're interested in more technology, especially vertical farming. As you well know, in 2019, we had the devastation of Dorade. So, Algo has been devastated, also Grand Bahama. So when it comes to agricultural projects, for example, we want persons to do stuff that is more insulated, more secure, and which you can actually grow, internally through various technology means 365 days in a year. So I won't discourage persons when it comes to businesses and their creativity, but we will encourage them, think of innovation, and think about sustainability moving forward.
All right. So you mentioned the land. Let's talk about that and how that works. If you're interested, if you are in agriculture and you are interested in developing some products, how will that work? How do you apportion the parcels of land?
Well, one of the first things persons will have to do is you can go on our website, baic.gov.bs, go into the media section, and you can click on the online forums, and you will see a property section. Persons can fill out the property application, and they can provide us with various information along with their business license, along with their proposal. That will be submitted to us. We'll have our entrepreneurial and planning department review the business proposal, and we'll also have our property department review the land lease request, and we'll see if it's viable, and then it will be prepared, sent to the board. The chairman of the board is here. The board will then make their final decision, and if they're approved, they will get an LOI, letter of intent. They will meet various requirements, and then they will get, at minimum, a 10-year lease of BAIC land for that particular activity.
Dwight, one of the things I want to clarify for the listeners, we have a confusion between persons applying, they're asking for crown land. BAIC lease land. We don't give land. The reason behind the idea of us leasing land for entrepreneurs is to afford them the opportunity for we act like an incubator. So for a short period, General Manager mentioned 10-year lease. We'll give you a 10-year lease initially, and then we will renew it for a further 10 if necessary. But the idea is not for persons to come and stay in the land forever. It's only get you on your feet to get you going so you may be able to move on and allow that land to be available for other persons who are coming in so that we can have land. Because there are only so much land available, particularly in New Providence. So we have people who want to stay on the land forever. That was not the intention. It is for persons to start up their business, and then you move on and give somebody else a chance to start their business. So the whole thing goes on and on and on. So we continue to help to develop new entrepreneurs.
Now, what if your product after 10 or 20 years is amazing and thriving and you're just like getting your groove? Can it still be negotiated to go a little bit longer? Or is that it really? We have to give it to other people to get a chance.
I didn't quite get your question.
I'm saying if you are, after that 20 years or so, your product that you are farming perhaps is doing so well, you're just getting into your stride. Is that going to be the end, though? Or can you negotiate for a longer period?
Again, let me say, for instance, for agricultural purposes, and I think that's one of the things that over the years we quite not got it right, in that the land that's available to BAIC, and particularly in New Providence, The family island is different because we have the availability of land, okay? So that would not be a issue for us in, say, Andros, Abaco, or Eleuthera. Okay. But certainly in New Providence, the land that we have in New Providence was not really designed for agricultural purpose. Ministry of Agriculture have agricultural land to develop for agricultural purposes. And so we should be steering people to agriculture for their agricultural products. Because like, for instance, at Gladstone Road, we have any number of persons who have gone into coconut farming, which is, we have about at least 30% of the land dedicated to just coconut farming. So what are we going to do with that? That means that 30% of that land has been given to coconut farming. We can't do anything with it. We can't even get people to move up them to turn over that land to other persons who may have use for that. So for those agricultural projects, we should be steering them to Ministry of Agriculture, who have land for agricultural purpose, where persons have over the years, rather than producing agricultural products, have turned those land into commercial, they're building apartments, they're putting homes on them and so forth. And so this is where we need to, get it right.
Right. Okay. So what are the limits in terms of the amount of land that you can get? Are there requirements? Are there too much or what's the upper level and the lower level?
It's based on the availability. Like the chairman said, New Providence, we have a limited amount of land. We have 2 industrial parks, one on Soldier Road and one on Gladstone Road. And Gladstone Road is saturated. And we have a few parcels left in Soldier Road. But for the family islands, especially Abaco, we have a large asset. So it's based on your proposal and the viability of that commercial activity. And then the board would then make the decision on how much land would be allocated for that project.
All right. Excellent stuff. So again, tell us about the process. If you want to, you say you go on your website if you're interested in leasing this land.
Definitely. You can go on our website at baic.gov.bs. You go to the media section and you will see the online property forms. You can fill out the application. We also have a field where you can upload your business proposal, and the property department within 24 to 48 hours will respond to you, and we will assist you when need be. Because one of the things that we've noticed is when persons make applications, they forget to bring us and upload their business proposals. And if you don't have one, you could come to BAIC and we can assist you in crafting a business proposal or executive summary that will complement your application.
And can you say how much the leases are typically?
The leases, when it comes to land, in the event that you want a building in the Soldier Road Industrial Park, I think it's $9.75 per acre. In the Family Islands, if you're doing a commercial property, that's $5,000 an acre. That's a yearly annual payment. If you want to do agricultural land in the Family Islands, that's $500 per acre, and that's an annual payment. And if you're doing an industrial activity within North Andros, because we have an industrial park there, that'll be $2,000 an acre per year.
Let me just add to what the general manager just said. To clarify, the $9.25 is not per acre, it's $9.25 per square foot. And that's calculated over 12 months, and so you pay that monthly. But that rate, even that rate we have, the board has decided that we have, in order to stimulate and to encourage persons to come into the park, we are not too hard and fast to that rate. In addition to that, we're trying to rejuvenate and re-energize this Soldier Road Park. We intend to put up another 4 new buildings, which have not been done in years. We're going to we're intending to construct at least a minimum 4 new buildings, so as to increase our capacity to assist young entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, to have a place where they can start their business. Our business in BAIC is to stimulate business, stimulate the economy, so that we have a excellent business climate for new persons who have ideas who want to get into business. In addition to that, we don't want you to start your business. We want to make sure that you continue to stay in business. We want to ensure that your business is an overall success and that you are providing the service that you have decided that you want to provide for the Bahamian people. So we are here to support you continuously, whatever way we can, either providing professional workshops, advice as to how you can continue to grow your business, technical advice, whatever it is that we have at our disposal. Our main interest is to stimulate the economy, to grow small and medium business, because we know that small and medium business are the engine that drive the economy. And also, we are here to ensure that employment opportunities continue to exist for our people.
All right. I see that you have something called the Pine Island Project, and that's in Acklands and Crooked Islands. Is that right? Tell us about that. This is interesting because this comes up quite a lot. But explain it to us, and then we can talk more about it.
The Pine Island Project is in collaboration with the IDB, Inter-Development Bank, who are providing the necessary funding along with government, along with the BIC, who also contribute to ensure that we have the availability, the continuity of the pine, the straw, because the palms is what the locals use in order for the straw industry. If we exhaust all of that, we won't have an industry to continue with. So the project is designed to ensure that those what we call pine islands that grow that are very have the ability for the growing of the pine, Grand Bahama, Abaco, Andros, also to a lesser extent, you have the Elustra, but those main islands and New Providence, where the pine is abundant, it grows in abundance. We support those. This project is designed to support those natural resources to ensure that they are available for future generation to have at their disposal in order to continue that industry.
Do we lose him? No? Everybody? Laverne as well? There we go. Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's the Cascarilla. That's what we refer. And Cascarilla, a lot of people don't realize Cascarilla is such an important product. We've been exporting that product for years, for almost a century, I guess. And that's the main ingredient in the drink that a lot of folks like to drink. Is called Campari.
That's right.
That's what the main ingredient. And it only grows in very few indigenous areas. And one of those we have that a lot of people don't realize it, but it also grows in Cat Island. Mm-hmm. I have a couple trees in my yard here in New Providence. It also grows here in New Providence.
Oh, really? Wow. All right, so that's it. How can more people get involved in that harvesting of Cascarilla and benefit from this? What needs to happen there? And do we need
also,
to look
in addition, I want to say that it has medicinal value as well. The Chinese and so forth, they are extracting the oil. In fact, if you Google it, the oil sells in Europe for extremely high prices. So it's a very, very valuable commodity. Mm-hmm. We were just selling the bark. So we were selling the raw product, but we can add value to it if we're able to process it and produce it like the persons, like the companies in the U.S., in Europe, and so forth. And we are doing some extraction. We are doing some experimental. We have some folks with the IDB who brought down. We're doing some experimental projects with it. And so we're looking to develop that. There's an association that's grown. That's a mushroom in Acklands and Crooked Island. They were having the locals join the association. The association is doing very, very well. A lot of people express interest, not only by verbally, but also financially. And so we're looking for that to grow into a very, very multi-million-dollar industry in short order once we get it all right.
So this is something more Bahamians can get into. This is a potential.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. We need to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about the produce exchange and sponging. Is there a future in the sponging industry and more of the work of BAIC?
Money never done.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll get into that, and we'll talk about the anniversary as well. This is Morning Blend Business. Stay with us. We're back after this break.
Laden. I asked her what was she selling. The young lady, she started spending pumpkin, bananas, peas and corn, breadfruit, lime, lemon, orange, cassavas, potato, onions, carrots. That's not good for making tea. Whee!
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAL. Growing wealth for future generations.
Girl, Junior just showed me Bella Boy in his phone.
What you mean? He take picture of that good-for-nothing boy?
Shh, you don't want Bella here. You say that. You know she always say that's my good child.
So what he doing in Junior phone?
Oh, he there because the police looking for him. He on that wanted list.
Wanted persons in your phone now?
Yes, child. And when police want to find anybody quick, after something happen, they can send pictures direct to your phone. Go to Google Play or App Store and search for Crack Crime Bahamas. Then pick install and it will go straight to your phone.
There is also a section on missing persons?
Yes, girl. Everybody needs to get this app so police can tell us right away when these people go missing. Just like an alert system.
Yes, it has numbers for Crime Stoppers Bahamas so you can call and nobody knows it's you. Call directly to Miami and give the information without giving your name or anything about you. I tried it the other day, and when I hear Junior and his boys talking about where they hide those guns, I walk quick round the corner and call that number.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
For the past 33 years, Great Commission Ministries has been defending the poor and hurting, feeding the hungry, and sheltering the homeless. We invite you to support our Live to Give program and make a difference in these challenging times. Become a donor by giving a one-time annual gift or a monthly donation of $50 or $100. Call Great Commission Ministries at 325-5801 for more details. Or visit our headquarters at 237 Wolf Road. Join Live to Give today. This public service announcement is proudly sponsored by this radio station.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
As she stooped to pick them fast, I spread all over her big fat juicy pumpkin, bananas, peas and corn.
We've got your final look at weather for today. We've got high pressure ridging that continues to extend over the Bahamas, maintaining sunny, breezy, and stable conditions. Beachgoers today, though, in the central and southeast Bahamas are being advised to exercise caution along eastern coastlines due to the risk of rip currents. For all areas today, forecast calls for partly sunny, hot, and a bit breezy, with the chance of a light, spotty shower, becoming mostly fair and warm with a stray shower possible tonight. Small craft caution in effect for the central and southeast Bahamas. Look for another hot day today. Highs getting up to around 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, Atlantic high pressure ridging will continue to maintain warm and sunny conditions with breezy conditions in the central and southeast Bahamas. That will keep a small craft caution in effect for at least another couple of days. For tomorrow, Friday, look for partly to mostly sunny conditions, a bit breezy, with a light stray shower or two possible. Saturday, mostly sunny and a bit breezy with a few passing showers possible. That's your morning blend weather check.
I went down by the river to fetch me a bucket of water. I went down by the river to fetch me a bucket of water. There I met a young maiden. On her head she was heavy laden. I asked her what was she selling. The young lady, she started spending pumpkin, bananas, peas and corn, breadfruit, lime, lemon, orange, cassawas, potato, onions, carrots. That's not good for making tea. Whee!
We're back here with Morning Blend Business. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. We are talking about BAIC, the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation. We've got Chairman Gregory Colley and General Manager Rocky Nesbitt with us this morning. All right, so the Produce Exchange, that's operated by BAIC, is that correct? Hello? Yes, you...
Yes, that's it. BIC took charge of the operation of what you call the commercial entities in Interim 14, which includes the Produce Exchange, the feed mill, and the farm store. At one point, also the Alva, and we sent that to the ministry. So BIC still has management oversight over the Produce Exchange, the Fisher Farm Store, and the e-bill.
All right, now let's talk about, we know that in the past, in the recent past, there have been some issues with a lot of things going to waste to the Produce Exchange. Is that still the case? Is that improving? What can be done about that?
Well, since this new board took over, we took a decision to move the Produce Exchange from where it was on the Produce Feed dock. And as you may know, there has been a number of complaints from the public and the staff regarding the condition of that facility. Since the hurricanes, successive hurricanes, nothing has been done to repair, to bring it back to some viable state. And so we decided that we were going to move it from the Produce Key dock and bring it here at headquarters, where we had a vacant building. And since we have made the change, we've gotten a number of compliments from the patrons, the staff. The conditions has changed tremendously, especially since our new general manager came. If you go in the Produce Exchange, it's like shopping in any regular facility. It has we've improved the manual writing up of receipts. We have a POS system that's tremendously improved the waiting time, the checkout time, and also our ability to keep track of the goods, the produce. And we also put in air conditioners So it's more conducive for shopping, and the overall atmosphere is extremely improved over the years.
So now, who's allowed to display their items at the Produce Exchange? Do you have to be someone who's leasing land from BAIC, or can other farmers who are doing things on their own property, are they allowed?
In terms of displaying goods in the Produce Exchange, we do have the availability where if persons want to come to us and leave, say, produce on consignment. Because what we do, all of our stuff come from the Family Island, from our farmers, our Bahamian farmers. We support our Bahamian farmers in the Family Island, particularly in North Andros, where on a weekly basis, everything you see in that Produce Exchange, they are fresh. Mm-hmm. They have just been recently picked. No storage container where it stayed for a couple of weeks or months in the cool storage. They are freshly picked from the farmer's field to your table. And so that is done on a weekly basis. We also have products coming from Cat Island, from Eleuthera, and so forth. So our mission is really to be a support system to our farmers. And I want to say here that since we've seen over the years, we have been spending at least $250,000 a year buying produce. That is now over. We've increased that purchasing from the farmers to almost $1 million. We're around $800,000 a year.
All right. You mentioned sponging, that it's still a viable industry. Let's talk about that. What are we seeing right now, and what's the potential there?
Again, with the assistance of IDB, we had a project where we have revitalized the sponging industry. As you know, in the early 50s, 60s, sponge, there was a song saying sponge of money never done, because the local fishermen were making money, lots of money, tons of money, and even the main industry providers were making tons of money until the disease destroyed the industry and killed that economic viability in that regard. But since then, the sponge has made a resurgence, particularly in Andros, in Long Island, even in Acklands, all of our islands. During the off season, when fishermen cannot fish for their favorite fish stock, they now are able to sponge to continue to supplement their income and to provide continuity in financial resources. And so everybody's excited. I know in Long Island in particular, the Long Island sponge industry has mushroomed. We're exporting all over the world again. And everyone knows that the Bahamas have the best quality sponge anywhere. And so sponge has made a dramatic return. And we want to encourage the fishermen and those, you can, especially even if you go to process it. See, the raw product, like we've been used to doing, is selling the raw product, we're getting $1, $1.25. You can, I see sponge selling on the internet. One sponge, you can buy it for $6.50. The finished product up to $10. And so by processing it, cleaning it up, and making it sponge is doing tremendously well.
Wow. All right. And so somebody's asking again about the cascarilla. How will you assist someone who wants to get into farming cascarilla and processing, as you said?
Farming, and the government is making available 100 acres of land in Acklands for persons who wish to get into the cascarilla farming business. I'm not too certain on that end of it. That information will have to come from the ministry, but we'll be able to provide it on our website shortly, all of the details. But in order for you to get it, and then as I said, you're not committed only to going to Acklands, Crooked Island, Maguana, and so forth, where they have it in abundance. But I can tell you that I know by personal experience, you can find cascarilla is also grown in abundance on Cat Island. As I said, it can also grow here in New Providence. So if you're able to get some land from Ministry of Agriculture, you can start your own cascarilla farm right here. They've been trying to do it in Andros to Bamsey. I'm not too sure whether that has been successful. Only what I've heard from they took a lot of trees from the southern islands and tried to replicate it in Andros. I don't know to what extent that has been successful, but you can grow it. I have done it. I brought plants from Cat Island. I brought plant from Acklands and successfully transplanted here in New Providence, and it's doing extremely well.
Well, we only have about a minute left. Tell us about this week, the mega market that's going on. What's that all about? Where, when? What do we need to know?
Definitely. The mega market will be on Saturday, and it will start at 8 a.m. and end at 6 p.m. We will be selling all of our produce and products, not only from the produce exchange, but the fish and farm store, and we also be selling it from the feed mill. We would like persons to come out and support. We'll be right here all day on Saturday at the Soldier Road Industrial Park, and we have a lot of gifts and prizes for persons too. So we have today, we have the artisans. They are here in the park. They're out there to the tents in the parking lot. So we have Island Buzz, Stitch and Sew, Fabulous Crafts. These artisans, Bahamians, small manufacturing and light manufacturing, come out and support those individuals too. The first 40 persons who come today, tomorrow, and Saturday will be giving away for free backyard pumpkins.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. And that starts at what time today?
Right now.
It starts right now. So get to the Soldier Road Industrial Park.
That's today, tomorrow, and Saturday.
Okay. Sounds wonderful. Well, happy anniversary to all of you at BAIC. And definitely it sounds like there's a lot more we can talk about. And we'd love to have you back to discuss many of the other opportunities available for entrepreneurs in this country.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Bishop Gregory Colley and Rocky Nesbitt, thank you both so much. Again, happy BAIC week. Happy anniversary to you all.
Thank you very much.
All right. And Laverne, thank you. Appreciate it, as always.
Thank you, as always.
We'll talk again next week. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend business right here after Morning Blend on Guardian Radio, 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great one. Stay tuned. On the Clock coming up next with Aaron Green.